People here, might as well just... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait. Can you hear me okay? Wait. 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 Probably a robot voice. Wait. Wait. There. There. Loud and clear? Okay, I couldn't hear me because I was on my virtual cable. Hello, everyone. Loud and clear, we can. Whoops. So, hi. Thursday. You were fine originally. I was fine. That was my Discord setup. If we want to carry over all the fancy noise gate stuff we do on OBS into Discord, I need to use my virtual cable. But if I do that, then I can't hear myself in the headphones, and I find I speak better. I speak more carefully when I can hear myself in my monitor, so I want that for stream if possible. Who's here? Everyone's here. Thursday, guys. Thursday gang is here. Saw Razzle, saw Moss, saw Jorkin, saw Maddie, saw DK. What's going on, guys? So, I'm looking at this guy. Noisegate sounds like the name of a scandal. I mean, it's kind of. I'm looking at this guy. I'm looking at the warrior, right? Trippy Taylor. Yo. Meow, Beebs. Meow. Library's got chores. What else is new, buddy? How's that fence coming along? You working on the fence yet? Have you gotten to the fence yet? Or is that more of a summertime chore? Big project. Tyler. I said Tyler, did I not? I said... Did I say Taylor? It's so tough. Your mom really effed you there, buddy. Your mom did not make it easy. Taylor. Taylor? Tyler? I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm blushing. Guys, this guy is not blushing. If you look at this guy... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have trouble reading. Their mom is fine. It's you, Blinn. Is it me? Is it me? Bonkman is bronze. Well, here's the thing. I think when he's got kind of like... You know how... Well, I won't say that maybe. His arms and body are much darker than his face are, right? And I think I figured it out. He's just wearing sunscreen. You know how some people, they put on sunscreen that has like zinc in it, right? So he's just conscious of the sun. He doesn't want his scars to look worse, right? The quads are so comical. He's got half orc blood in him. Yeah, sun protection is important. So let's all take a lesson from... Look at that. The customization options. At least I'm glad they let me take off the mohawk. I think the mohawk was too much. Anyway, SPF. SPF, welcome in, guys. It's a casual, social Thursday. What's going on today? We got big, strong brains for this Thursday. Bob's Brawny Bodyguard, right? Howdy, DT. Despicable Taylor. A name that I can read and see with my eyes. Ooh, Clippy. Clippy, unprovoked shade. Look at that, guys. Clippy's a beast. Speaking of beasts, right on cue, Sneakers. Right on cue. Punkman looking thick. Thick boy. I got a plan. I'm covering him with the list. Covering with the list. Whoa, Clippy. Hey, did you see? Man, Discord is just flying by these days. I didn't have time to catch up on all the dark and darker Discord comments, but I'm sure there's a bunch of them. I'm going to enjoy that later. For now, what's on the list? We got Strong Brains this Thursday. Gonna do a naked warm-up. Clippy versus SDF cage match. No, there's no way SDF has the courage to get in a cage with Clippy. No way. No way. We're going to do some naked warm-ups. Why? Because I want to talk through a bit of the combat strategy I've been developing for Warrior. I've only been playing Warrior for maybe like 20 hours. I've basically skipped over every class except for Priest. I've got a bit of melee Priest experience. Maybe 50 or 60 hours as a melee Priest. I've probably got over 300 hours as a rogue since late October last year. So that's like 8 months, right? 300 hours as a rogue. Maybe 4 hours as a hunter. I have 0 hours as a wizard. 0. I have currently about 20 hours as a warrior. And I think it's kind of like a kink, I'm realizing. For some reason, I gravitate to like the weakest classes. I don't know why. It's just like a thing that I like. I like to play the weakest classes. And that way, I think it's cope. It's like an armor of cope. If I play the weakest classes, when I make errors of judgment, right? When I make mistakes, I can hide behind the fact that I'm playing the weakest class, right? It's a bit of protection for me. So that when I make a mistake, I give myself plausible deniability. I can say, no, that wasn't entirely me. It was also some of the class. Look how awesome the Morning Star looks. Doesn't that look great? I think that looks great. I've been enjoying Ranger so far, even though I have yet to win a PvP. Jorkin, everyone's got the thing that, you know, like the class that calls to them. For me it was Rogue to start. And I'm really glad I started on Rogue. I think they said earlier on that the Rogue was the kind of the most technically challenging class in terms of melee. So I feel like it gave me a good foundation for melee. But they made a bunch of shadow changes, shadow nerfs to the way that Rogue works. And I wonder like what, because they're transparent about some things, but other things you have to kind of play and remember what it was like before and then realize that it's different now. And those changes aren't documented. They're shadow changes. And I wonder what it is about some of those things where the dev decides to not list the change. It's curious to me. But apparently now, with the wizard, with the hunter, with priest, I feel like Season 1 in Legacy so far has not been good for melee classes. Melee is kind of the bottom of the pyramid. Loopnay's here. Loopnay's in. And we're talking about a kink I have, Luke. We're talking about a kink I have to play one of the weaker classes in any particular given, like, PvP system, just to see if it's possible. And for this season, a lot of people are saying that the warrior and the rogue are struggling. And because I don't have very much time at all on warrior, only about 20 hours, I wanted to keep going here and just see what, look at the quads, just see what's possible, right? That's the idea. So the list, we're gonna do some naked warm-up, and I'm gonna talk through my combat strategy. I'm gonna talk through what I'm gonna be trying to do tonight so you can kind of follow along. And then once I'm warmed up, same here, that's why I love Shield Slam. Exactly, Shield Slam, Dark and Darker, Shield Fighter, basically anything Dark and Darker with the move speed meta has always been kind of bottom of the heap, right? Especially in solos. Anyway, tonight, after we warm up, after I talk through what my ambitions are gonna be for combat, then we're gonna drop into duos and we're gonna fill the team because we're looking for a Bob, right? We're gonna be just partnering with random Bobs tonight. If you want to be my Bob, welcome in. You're welcome to try to Q-snipe me. I'll be playing US East duos with the team fill checked on. So that's what we're gonna do for the bulk of the casual Thursday stream. And then, as required, let's learning, guys. I want to try to get better. And, you know, you don't get quads like this without training, right? You got to train to get your legs to look like this. DT, 10 months. Oh man, we got to get, we have to get on the badges for the 12 months aren't far away. It's got to be July. Oh, July will be the 1 year stream anniversary. That blows my mind. DT, thank you so much for sticking around for 10 months, brother. That's so cool. That's wild. Anyway, okay, that's for another day. You don't get muscles like this without training, right? So as required, we're gonna go back on the VOD and we're gonna have a look and see what's up. See if we can learn something from some of our defeats, because I do feel like winding back the footage and having a look is the best way to accelerate learning. Moss for 9 months. Me and Moss are having a baby. Can you see? Can you see this? We're having a baby on stream. It's due anytime. Time flies, does it not? Time flies. It does. Okay, that's the list. We'll come back to the list later, eventually. Let's just do a little bit of warm-up, and I'll show you what I'm thinking. Okay? Show you what I'm thinking. Let me just check my inventory, make sure before I don't have anything. Okay, I don't have anything. Who cares? We got nothing. We're just going in to show you the ropes before we go for the bobs. Oh, any name ideas yet? For the baby? For the pregnant man icon? It is quite a curious icon, is it not? It's a little curious. Sun protection, guys. We discovered, for those just joining us, the reason why the warrior's head looks lighter in tone than the rest of his body is because he's wearing kind of a zinc-based sunscreen, right? We're going into Greenwood daytime, and if it's daytime, if the sun is shining, you do want to protect your face, especially the top of your head, right? With a bit of sun protection. Keith, male Karen. Yikes. I vote Bloss. Attention, we're out of Bort license plates. Attention, the gift shop is out of Bort license plates. My son is also named Bort. I should have named this guy Bort. Ooh, can I change my name? Can I change my name? Hitherto, his name was Bonkman. Hither forward? Hither toward? Hither after? Afterwards? I'm not sure. Is there like a fancy English word for like the opposite of hitherto that's not afterwards? Henceforth. Aha, that's what it is. Post hither. Henceforth was the word I was looking for. What is this game? Alex DMNS asks. Alex demands? Alex demands to know. What is this game? What is this game? Henceforth, this game shall be known as Legacy, Steel, and Sorcery. It is a third-person action RPG fantasy extraction game, I'll say. They call it, the developers call it full loot, like world PvP. They call it world PvP, but I call it fantasy extraction. Hither after, hereafter, post hither. Alex demands. Ben Taylor, how are ya? Welcome in, happy Thursday. Quite the queue here. Oh, wait, no, wait. I'm queuing duos. Ooh, that could be, that could be a challenge. I was waiting there for 2 minutes for a random fill. That was a mistake. I'm supposed to be on solos, but that was like a 2.5 minute queue. Dudes, we might need community support if it exists. At this time, maybe Bob's will be hard. We'll have to see. Maybe trios will be a bit easier. We'll see. Probably will be. I mean, so what if we just yap, right? If we queue up and there's nobody, I am prepared to be called upon. Well, it's an open invitation tonight, Maddie. I'll give you a heads up, though. Open invitation. What is the player count? I haven't been keeping up with that statistic. But now that we're out of the free weekend, and we're out of the sale period, I wonder... Ooh, free backpack? Oh yeah, free backpack. I wonder... Ooh, potato? I wonder... What is the player count? What are the metrics? You know? There are 1,960 players in Legacy right now. That's good. That's a good number. Right, they're holding on to some of the numbers. Before I get carried away... Here we go. The reason we're in here right now is because I want to do a little bit of naked warm-up. I want to preview the combat strategy of what we're looking to do. I have 20 hours as a warrior. Not a lot amount of time. The warrior, to the uninitiated, can feel very slow and clunky. And it's true. It is a fairly slow and clunky melee class. I see a priest over here. I don't want to fight just yet. I want to show you what I want to do. If I start swinging, maybe we'll be interrupted. That's fine. We'll have to take the fight. But for now, we'll just find this little private corner here, and I'll show you the plan. Okay, here's the plan. I'm using a mason shield. Okay, the Morning Star and shield. It has a 4-swing regular attack combo, like so, with a bit of reset at the end. Okay? The cool thing about the mace is when you hit a target, you apply hemorrhage. You apply a hemorrhage debuff that stacks up. And if you get that hemorrhage debuff to top out on your opponent, you will trigger like a bleed effect, a hemorrhage effect. It gives you tremendous damage, like a big damage payoff, and small amounts of damage over time. We'll talk more about that later. Right now I'm just looting this basement. So the Mason Shield is good because you get the hemorrhage buildup. And if you hit the person enough times, you get a damage payoff in the form of hemorrhage and bleed. So keep that in mind. The priest is still fighting up there. I see her magic. What else can you do with the Mason Shield? You can block by holding right click. And there are 8 pips. You can see there's 8 blocking pips, which is a lot, which is the most in the game. So you've got a really good opportunity to block projectiles, to block melee attacks. I also have a perk with my warrior I've unlocked. I can actually sprint while blocking, which gives me a good amount of move speed in a blocking position, but it chews through my stamina, so I have to be careful of that. Okay, so we've got regular attack, 4 swing attack combo, and the mace applies hemorrhage buildup. We have a block mechanic with 8 blocking pips. You'll also notice if I click attack while blocking, do a bit of a shield charge, which is pretty cool, right? Shield charge, I like that. I have to do a little more experimenting to see, can this be interrupted? I don't think it can, but I'm also not glowing blue. Normally, when you glow blue, it means your attack there is not stoppable, is not interruptible, right? So I don't see that here with the shield charge, which is curious. You'll also notice if I click and hold for a long time, ooh, I get this big red attack. That means my attack is unblockable. So that's a big one, but I don't ever really use that because there isn't really a chance. Everyone's moving around too much, but that's there. Okay, so we can sprint while blocking, good mobility. We can attack from block for a shield charge, cool. The other thing that's new this season is every player has a dash. Okay, you can see I get my little evade. I glow green. It gives me an iframe, similar to like a Souls-like game, where if I dash, I am invulnerable for the frames where my character is green. So I can double dash, cover some more ground. Again, it eats my stamina. My stamina is a very, very valuable resource as a warrior. But I can do that. I can do a dash attack. See how I do this little headbutt? This dash attack is very important. I think it's only available on the Mason Shield, right? So let me just, this guy's resetting, but we'll use him as our little test dummy here. We'll block this. Look at that blocking there. Dash attack. See the swirly on the guy's head? The swirlies? That means he's confused or he's silenced. I think it means he's silenced. Which means the only thing a player or enemy can do when silenced is evade. They can't attack, they can't block, they can't use any abilities. So this is a thing that is particular to Mason Shield. Dash, attack, headbutt is a really good way to lock out my opponent from doing anything in retaliation. So it's another kind of tool in the toolbox, okay? What else can we do? The Mason Shield suffers from forward mobility. The attack combo doesn't have a great amount of range, and I don't really move forward in space that much. So the dash headbutt, the dash attack is a good way to cover more ground, in addition to getting the silence debuff. But another way to cover ground for the Mason Shield is to do a jump attack. So you see my regular attack combo here, but if I jump first, right, and then attack, I kind of jump forward in space, and I slam into the ground. So I've got this jumping attack that's also blue, right? Similar to my heavy regular melee attack. That means it's not interruptible. My character is not interruptible while my weapon is glowing blue. So that's another thing I can do kind of in my arsenal of melee attacks, right? Lots to keep track of, right? Regular attacks we can do heavy attacks. We can do very heavy attacks. We can block. We can attack from block. We can jump attack. We can dash attack. That's just modifications of regular attacking, right? Jump bonk meta, kind of. right? Kind of. I haven't even talked about my abilities, right? That's just variations of regular melee combat. And it's a lot. It's taken me like the full 20 hours to finally get my head around that, especially in the heat of battle. Like, after my combo is done, layering in the headbutt, doing this again, learning to jump to cover space, there's a lot. When do I block? How long do I block? When do I, you know, shield charge out of blocking? It's a lot. So, we're learning, and that's what today's all about. I just wanted to drop in solo here before I try to queue with my team. So, as I'm talking through how I'm approaching combat later, a lot of potatoes on the shelf here. I'm picking up the potatoes. We'll talk about food in a second. Another potato. Yes. Later this evening, as I go through combat, and I'm talking about what I could have done better, what I should have done better, or what I did well, I want to give you a bit of a primer on that. The other thing I'll talk about here is my special ability, skill, Quake, is my Q ability, Quake. This is what it does. I slam my weapon into the ground, and it's like an AoE all around me. I'm also going to talk about rage. So I'm just going to block this guy. Okay, I'm going to slam. You notice how he was attacking me, but he couldn't interrupt me because my weapon was blue. So knowing that my slam, my Quake, is unstoppable is very helpful to me. I didn't realize that until now. Just going to take a health pot to top up. I want to be full HP. So that's another thing I want to factor in. That Q, Quake, Slam ability, I think can be very useful. Sweaty game. I guess so. Oh, I thought Quake might make you cower in fear. Yeah, not me. Not this guy. Not big, strong brains McGee. Bort. Right? Quake. Nice. Notice how they get a slowing debuff afterwards. Right? That's pretty interesting. When I Quake, they get slowed. Also, check this out. As I block, look at the bar, the orange meter under my red HP. As I block, that orange meter increases. That is my rage, and rage is kind of like my mana. So as I block and as I attack, I generate rage, and then I can use rage to do all sorts of crazy abilities. Like a big shout, like I can do a charge, right? Now I can also do this thing, which is like an anchor tether chain thing. You'll see me pull this out later. But all those special abilities, my charge, my shout, my tether, are all based on rage, having rage. So see how this, he's tethered to that thing? That's an ability that I can use once I generate some rage. Cool. So, a lot to keep track of, but not too much. It's a lot, but once you kind of get a handle on it, it's like just enough. It's just enough. It's not too much. The challenge is that every class has this dynamic moveset, right? So learning it for your class is one thing. Learning it for all the other classes is another thing. Is a challenge. I'll say it. Is a challenge. And that's still very much a work in progress for me. Cool. So, the goal for tonight is, how many classes? 5 classes in total. There's a warrior, there's a rogue, there's a hunter, there's a priest, and there's a wizard. Let's do some practicing here. The point of tonight is for me to... Oh, hey, this guy's going to be unblockable. Dodge. The only thing we can do when they're flashing red is dodge. I want to work out combos. So as I approach PvP combat, I want to think, how should I open combat? How should I chain attacks together to be most effective? And I want to work that out, and I want to write that down. So for example, if I'm just doing my regular combo, you'll see after my 4th swing, there's kind of a slow reset, right? A slow reset. So what I'm learning to do is after the 4th one, I evade and then headbutt. And that lets me fill that gap and go right back to my melee attack chain. I'm not sure if you caught it there. It's kind of hard to see in the wheat here. I'll show you in a more isolated thing. But this is an example of one of the things I'll be working on tonight. So I do my full attack combo, 2, 3, 4, reset, right? And even though I'm clicking, there's this kind of 1 second reset, and that 1 second is kind of like a big deal in PvP. So what I've learned to do is after the end of my 4th attack, if I do an evade attack, it fills the gap. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, evade, headbutt, and then back into the combo. So you can see that you get more attacks in the combo by doing these things. 4, right? And you can just keep chaining that as long as you have stamina. That's a really effective thing to do against another player. The only way to get out of that, really, is to evade if you were another player. 1, 2, 3, 4, evade, headbutt. 1, 2, 3, evade, headbutt. All right, he died very quickly, but you can see that's the idea. Okay. So my goal for tonight is to make a list of other things like that I can do. It sounds like... Oh, someone just died here. Here's an opportunity. Now, these mobs are tough, and there's a bunch of them. This warrior here died to these mobs. I wonder if I can just pull a couple of them to start. Let's jump in. 1. Nope. Red attack coming in, and this AoE is tough. Tough to fight more than one mob at a time. We'll do our best here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Evade, headbutt. I missed with my headbutt. We're dodging the big red attack. We can't block it. Oops, I quaked. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I made a mistake. Weapon away. I'm burning. I don't have any stamina. Maybe I can charge away. Can I jump? Okay, I can jump, but I can climb. Okay, looks like I lost the aggro. I have like 1 HP. PvE can absolutely destroy you in this game if you're not careful, and I wasn't careful there. Fighting more than one can be a challenge, even with all the experience I have in the game. Some classes have it easier. The warrior has to be up close and personal, so against a crew of mobs, it can be challenging. Let's get back in there and see if I can do it. Holy. We got lucky there that we didn't die. We got lucky. These are elite mobs, so they're no joke. I wanted to see if I can pull one of them, but it seems unlikely. So what I really want to do is burst down the mage. I also want to keep healing. If one aggroes, do they both aggro? Probably. Yeah. It looks like it. Maybe, maybe not. Ooh, here we go. Here's a chance. Jump attack. Combo. We dodge the red. And we back to our combo. 1. I'm going to not push him towards the red mage, though. I'm not sure if he's aggro. I don't want to push him towards the red mage. Headbutt. Silence. 3, 4. Dash attack. 2, 3, 4. Dash attack. 2, 3, 4. We just do this until he's dead. They have HP for days. I'm out of stamina. Holy moly. Okay, we did it. GG. Takes a lot, hey? Yeah, keep drinking potions. How many hours do you have in this game? Probably about 350. I've been playing since October of last year. What's this guy gonna do? Oops, I made a mistake there. 3, 4, dash attack. These guys will have less HP than the big skelly. See the red damage numbers? It's my hemorrhage damage kicking in. Good. Even more dudes. Let's try my Quake Slam to start. Oop. Gotta watch those red attacks. Kind of a weird hiccup there. I want to dodge. I don't want to be surrounded by them. Dodge the red attack. Let's clear the little guy first. Dodge out of the way. If you get run up on here, I have nothing to do with that. I'm in trouble. Okay. I got diseased. Man, the challenges of trying to just clear mobs as a melee class are real. It's a lot of work, and you are in the line of fire. Other classes like hunters don't need to deal with any of this. They have it so easy. Let's see, we're going to keep healing. This yellow debuff I have, this disease debuff, I don't know exactly what it does. I think it actually makes me... It nerfs my damage output a little bit, I think. I can't be sure. The difference between a single mob and 2 or 3 is abysmal. Yeah, there's a big difference, for sure. Okay, let me just do a quick round of looting on these corpses, and then we'll get out of here. Hopefully that was a good primer of what we're looking to do. I'll talk more about some of the combos as we encounter other players. How much coin do I have? 100 coin. Okay. If you have 100 coin... Oh, I should check the warrior body, too. He's probably got some meds. Oh, there's a glitch where you can't loot... If you move too far away from bodies, or if you wait too long, you can't loot them, which is another big problem the game is experiencing right now. It's pretty buggy. I'm gonna say it. Like... Notorious, the devs said that they were focusing on making content for the beginning of Season 1, but because they were focused on content, a lot of bugs kind of slipped through the cracks. So there's a lot of issues with some stuff where there didn't used to be issues, like looting corpses, that kind of thing. But hopefully that will be resolved in short order going forward. Disease reduces attack power by 30% and maximum stamina by 50%. Yikes! For 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Denon. It's very helpful. Let's get out of here. You can get potions. There are certain potions that will help, like, remove debuffs. So if you're poisoned or if you're diseased, there are potions you can get, potions you can bring in that will alleviate that. But I find that I'm not often do I succumb to the affliction like this. So, it's often not worth the utility space. Let me just check how much space I have in my hard drive before I just go wild with recording myself. I've got some space, but not a crazy amount of space. But some. Okay. Cool. So, almost died to mobs, to elite mobs. It is not easy. We killed 14 of them. I still haven't yet hit level 20 on my warrior. What a season consist of? What's the goal? Good question. So there's a couple of goals. One is to get various characters to level 20, max level 20, and unlock all of the traits that belong to that character. So for example, I've got Vitality is a trait where my max HP is increased by 10%. Retaliation, when I block, break an enemy, I become enraged for a short duration. Advancing guard, I can sprint while blocking. So these are all things you unlock as you level up your character. I've got a couple things after pulling an enemy with iron grip, you can tether them to the ground. I don't really use the iron grip. Your damage is increased for each kill trophy carried in your bag during an adventure. Sure, I'll learn that. That's great. That's helpful. So you level up your characters, right? And there are, of course, 5 classes you can level up. I've already leveled my rogue all the way up to level 20. And I've got all of these perks unlocked, or these traits unlocked. I don't care for Sharpened Blade. I don't like the visual effect, so I never choose this one. But otherwise, I've got all this. So I also don't care about pickpocketing, because you never are in a position to pickpocket, in my opinion. It's kind of a memey, dead-end trait. But that's another topic. I really haven't worked on any of these other classes too much. A little bit here. But that's one objective for the season. That doesn't take you too long. It'll take you maybe a couple of weeks of grinding to do that. The bigger way you progress in the game is by leveling up your vendors in the city. So vendors is where you do a lot of your preparation for raids. you buy items like potions. You can craft items like potions. You can craft armor. You can craft materials you need for healing, like bandages. Materials you need for backpacks. All sorts of things. Basically, the whole progression system is centered around the vendors and also centered around your lodge. Your lodge is where you manage a bunch of passive bonuses, and it's where you go to make a lot of materials. So you can see I've got a crap load of extra cloth, extra copper bars. Your lodge is like your home base. Critter habitat. Moss loves a critter habitat. Should be putting more glow grubs in here. Look at his little face, right? So this is where the actual progression, the bulk of the progression of the game exists here. You can see here I'm almost at my vendor level 5 for the weaponsmith. I don't think I have much to do here. Maybe I can upgrade. So I've got a couple of these common maces, these common earth shakers. Let's upgrade. We'll choose an earth shaker. And to upgrade this via the weaponsmith, I need the item itself. I need 2 minor weapon crystals. I need 3 iron bars. I need oak heartwood and 2 goblin teeth. So let's do that. And then here we go. We've upgraded this, and that's very nice. Maybe I'll do the same for... Maybe I'll just do it again. I'm on the verge of leveling up, so I'm just going to upgrade again. And then here I've hit level 5 on my weaponsmith. And so now when I go to buy things, maybe not now, but when he refreshes, I'll have the opportunity to buy a wider variety of items and higher quality items as well. I can also craft higher quality things. There's just all sorts of reasons why you want to upgrade your vendors. So this is the main progression. Ooh, potato loot means good. Thank you. So at the tavern, right, I can craft, and here's where I'm able to like craft a bunch of food so that when I go back to my lodge, I go to my cooking pot, I can cook food for passive bonuses each raid, right? So there's different foods you can cook that give you different bonuses. For example, if I cook a seasoned wolf haunch, I get extra max HP. If I cook an apple pie, I get wound resist to protect against hemorrhage. I also get max HP. If I cook an onion, I get 1 additional serving of whatever else that I'm cooking, etc. So my preferred recipe of choice is, it's going to sound weird, is a minty potato. I combine mint and potato because both of these things give me max stamina, and both of these things give me an additional serving. So stamina is in short supply for warrior, especially the combat style I'm looking to do this time around, where my combat style is focused on dashing, my dash attacks, my headbutt attacks. The headbutt attacks take a lot of stamina, so I choose a recipe that gives me extra stamina. Mint leaves and baked potatoes. Each of these items also gives me additional servings, so they last for longer. I've already had 2 raids with this recipe. I still have 3 remaining. It's a tremendous boost to my playstyle. Minty potato sounds like a graded MTG card. A minty baked potato? Yeah. Yeah, it's a 9.5, right? It's currently selling for 3,500 USD. Do you carry anything when the next season begins? No, there's a full wipe between seasons. Your stash is empty, your character progress is reset, your vendor progress is reset, so that happens. Anyway, you'll notice there's a difference, though, between a hearty potato, which just gives me max stamina, and a baked potato, which gives me max stamina plus the additional servings boost. So there's an incentive to go to the tavern, go to craft, and then choose my potatoes. Where are they? Choose my... Oh, they're in my inventory. I have to put them in my... I think I have to actually put them in the stash. I can't interact... I can't sell anything to vendors. I can't interact with things in my backpack. It has to go in my stash. So I gotta move these things over. That's no problem. We're doing that. This is my food barrel, where I keep all of my food stuffs. And I think that's it for food. Oh, carrots as well. Okay, so now that there's potato here, I can go back to the city, back to the tavern maid, and the craft. Now I can find potato. Excuse me. Oh, wait. Yes, baked potato, because I have them. And then to make a baked potato, I need hearty potatoes, which I do have. And let's bake 5 of them. So not only do I get the potato, I also get vendor reputation. That gave me 55 vendor reputation. And that's how you level up vendors, by interacting with them, by crafting with them, or by buying things from them. For example, I could buy another 5 critter chow, and that gives me 16 reputation. So you get more reputation by crafting with a vendor instead of just straight up buying things. And now I can, when it's time to go back and cook again, I've got a whole bunch of baked potatoes instead of none, which is great. Backpack cooking sales would be good quality of life improvement. Yeah, but I can also understand that it's probably not an easy fix. If they didn't kind of build the inventory system to treat the backpack like a tab, you can kind of see that like all of the UI requires this kind of like empty space in the middle. Like there's no way for you to see your backpack also. It's weird. So I think they might have painted themselves into a corner in terms of the way the stash tabs are separate from the backpack space. And like there's this like visual here, like where does the backpack go? It's a challenge. It's a back-end challenge. So I'm empathetic to that situation. I would rather have the ability to rotate things. There's a lot of very intuitive inventory stuff this game does very, very well. And so I'm willing to take the hit on some conveniences missed out on in some user experience, if that makes sense. Critter habitat, we're going to throw in some more critter food. And then let's go back to the inventory. Let's decompress here from our adventure. So I'm a big fan of staying organized. We've got extra rawhide here. This is kind of, Stash Tab 2 is kind of like my top level materials. Just going to bounce back to the lodge, to the fireplace. Now I'm going to put this in the fireplace. For the lodge to work, the fire needs to be burning at all times. So you have to make sure the fireplace is stocked up with wood. And so we're doing that. That's good. Let's decompress here. We've got our tools tab. And it looks like we have scissors to put there. And the rest is maybe sellable. I put my sellables here. Frogs. That's kind of... I don't really have a place for frogs. We'll put them here for now. This is kind of like my alternate potions tab. I've got my tools. I've got my kind of class, specialty, and jewelry tab. I've got my weapons and armor tab. And I've got my top level heals and stuff. So we'll just get ready to sell some of these things that we don't need. This is the potions tab. Key tab. And then we'll put these torn fabrics in the loom. And then we'll sell the remainder. Okay. Lodge, loom for all of our scraps of fabric. And this is how we loom these things together to make these linen cloth, these bolts of fabric, which we then take and we craft armor, we craft healing with these bolts of fabric. The tanner, same thing. We put in the leather scraps and we get out actual pieces of rawhide leather, light leather, etc. And then for things that we don't need, we go to the city, and any vendor, you don't get any reputation for selling, so you just can sell the extra scraps to whatever vendor and get that stuff. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Let's do one more warm-up, see if we can find some PvP. Just to, keep warming up. And then we'll look for a squad of bobs. A bob squad. Okay? Yes is here. Guys, everyone. Please, attention please. Stop what you're doing. And let's say yes. To yes. Yes! Hi, yes, how are you? Are there any cosmetics in the game? It's a work in progress. You can see there's a customize tab. And look at this. Lo and behold, I can choose to have a mohawk or not have a mohawk. Kinda lame, but work in progress. Other classes have it better. For example, this elf. This is what the generic elf looks like. Not really my favorite, but I love the snow elf skin. Very nice. You can do that. What else? What else? If I take off my hood here, you can see the rogue has an alternate hairstyle. Okay, that's what the rogue has. Again, it's early access. They have not been really focused on this, so we can't poke too much fun here. What does the priest do? Elegant hairstyle? I see. That's nice. Sure. I think part of the roadmap is there's going to be different genders available for all classes and a little more customization, which will be nice because I know some people don't like to be gender locked by the class they're playing. And certainly, if I could choose to be slightly less muscular, I would probably opt to do that. That's just a personal preference. Can I buy a helmet? I feel like having a helmet on makes me look a lot scarier. I can buy a shoulder piece. I can craft a helmet. So let's craft bulrush horns. Each piece of gear will amplify one of your class abilities. So depending on how you like to play the class, you can choose different gear that makes certain abilities stronger. So for example, the bulrush horns says hitting an enemy with your charging attack grants you a small amount of rage. So that sounds good. We'll build that. Craft that. We'll put it on, and now we look a lot scarier, right? Much scarier. Ready to go back in. Maybe we'll grab a common weapon. And we've got our heals, maybe a couple more bandages. Let's go. One more round of solos warm-up. I want the elf skin for the ranger so bad. It looks good. If that's a taste of what's to come, then I have faith in the art department. So much of this game, I don't want to say everything, because I'm sure that some things have been purchased from asset stores, I think, just for convenience. But by and large, the whole art direction of the world has been shaped from the ground up by the team. And that in and of itself just makes me feel a tremendous amount of respect for the devs. Because it's so expensive. It takes so long. It takes so much time and vision to have an idea for a world and then to actually, like, make the assets to bring that to life. These people are not just buying demon meshes from the asset store and plugging it in and calling it content. They have a vision for the world, and at least for all the buildings and stuff, like, they're making it, right? And that is deserving of respect, in my opinion. Okay, so we're in. I've got a goblin lever, so I'm gonna make my way through my favorite part of the map, and we're gonna hang around the south edge and look for a player, and if not, we will escape via the goblin bridge. And during this time, I want to practice, or at least keep in mind, some of the melee combos I hope to work on tonight. We talked about the regular 4 swing combo. What do we see here? I hear something. Sounds travel very far in this game. It's a priest. That's priest magic. Let's get our butt kicked by a priest, shall we? We're going to attack this wolf. We're being conspicuous, but we're generating a bit of rage, which is good. Priest is here. We're going to see if we can lock her down. We have. We're going to dodge. We're going to jump attack. Close the gap. Headbutt. We tried. We're charging her. Okay. We're going to dash and headbutt. She's out of stamina. She's out of stamina. She can't go anywhere. We silenced her with the headbutt. She can't use any abilities. We're closing the gap is difficult. Not a lot of forward mobility. We're dashing again. Okay, good. We got her. That was very close. You can see that if I rely too heavily on my regular melee combo, there isn't a lot of forward momentum. It's very hard to close the gap. Hear more steps. So there's a lot to think about, right? It sounds like a warrior. So let's die to a warrior. First PvP I've seen in the game. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to get wrong. She pulled away from me And I was kind of stuck spamming my attack, and that's a bad thing to do. It's better to try to move forward and close the gap. I'm going to keep the tool belt here. We're just taking the whatever loot is most valuable. So our rage has subsided. We only have a little bit of rage, which means we can't rely on too many abilities. Let's see if we can see who this is. I heard them? Maybe they're in the cemetery. Let's just listen up. You are a beast at this game. Well, the warrior is kind of like the melee beast, right? I don't want to fight mobs. I want to see if I can get eyes on the warrior I heard, but maybe they've left. Can you craft war horns yet? Yes, I can. I don't really rely on them. They're too conspicuous. I should. It's a blind spot for me. I'm trying to learn to defeat players without relying on horns. I feel like it's kind of a crutch. A lot of warrior players think that they have to use the horn and they have to have rage to start the fight. And in many cases, that's true. But part of my challenge is to, like, can I just, using regular attacks with the mason shield, close the gap, make enough rage myself that I don't need to use the horn, and so far I do think it's possible. Okay. I don't see the other person. Let's dip out. Oh. Let's dip. Let's practice here. Let's imagine this is an enemy player. So one thing I want to practice doing is a combo of my anchor, a jump attack, and then my quake slam. So I have enough rage by default to use one ability. That could be a charge, or that could be this anchor tether throw. So I'm going to tether, I'm going to jump attack to close the gap, and then once I'm close, I'm going to Q slam, I'm going to quake to do more damage. I'll show you what that looks like. So here's my tether. The enemy now is locked to the tether. So I jump attack, and now I quake. No, I can't, because quake requires, there's a cooldown, it looks like. That was weird. So maybe after my tether, maybe I can't quake. Interesting. Maybe I can wait. Maybe I can be super patient with it. If I tether and then wait, and then jump, and then I can quake. It has a rage cost. Does it? It does. Interesting. I thought it was like, so for the rogue, the blade rush doesn't take energy. It's an ability that is not dependent on your energy resource. I thought that the Q here for warrior would be similar, but I guess not. So that changes the equation a little bit. Okay. So then, if I can't anchor, do I just start with it? Maybe if I just run, jump attack, and then quake once I'm in the range. That could be a bit better. And then I kind of start my melee cycle. I want to be careful I don't push him into the void. If I don't go into the void myself. That was kind of close. It's a bit of a bummer. It sucks that the warrior is so dependent on rage, but the resource is kind of non-existent without the horn. Unblockable. I shouldn't have tried to block, but that's a bad habit. Still learning, right? This is like hour 21 of me playing this class, and so some of the particulars of it are just coming into focus. Let's reset. I didn't know the headbutt was a silence. I'm not sure they tell you that. It was in the patch notes. Duty bound. Also, hi, how are you? I saw your Warhorns comment, but I didn't say hi. I'm saying hi now. Hi. Yeah, the patch notes. I should call it up, actually. Let's do that little tavern while we're resetting. I'll call it the patch notes. For that, I'll go to the Discord. Hi, hello. Hi, hello. That That would be in probably what's new. You go all the way back. Shadow's Reach, hotfix. Patch notes, Season 1, hotfix 1. Give me a second here. There, I think this is it. Update 1. There's a lot of information, and it's kind of weird because there's also, like, not everything exists. Like, they don't list all the changes. There's a bunch of things that they don't list, which is kind of weird. But for the most part, so we're here in the developer updates, Season 1 update. This is like the big Season 1 release notes. And if you go down to classes warrior, and then weapons, mace, and spiked shield, it says headbutt, evade attack, causes silence for 1 second. And let's see if we can find silence. Yes. New status effect, silence. Prevents the player from using any weapon attacks, weapon skills, blocking, or using any class skill or class tools. So the only thing a player can do when they're silenced is evade. That's the only thing they have available to them. So if your opponent is already low on stamina and they're silenced, you put them in a very awkward position where they either have to choose to stay in your face and get hit, or to evade away and maybe burn their stamina if they get stammed out, right? Way more OP than in Dead. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, Mace and Shield is how I want to play Warrior anyway. Is there a way to put that to good use? So we saw that on the Hunter. There. Is it worth a VOD review on that one? I don't think it was that impressive. I don't want to derail the stream just to navel gaze too much. So we'll keep going. I'm just going to reset some of these things. Don't need all of these things. So the really cool thing about... The last thing I'll say about kind of the lodge and crafting before we move on to the Bob Squad is about disenchanting. Is a really cool mechanic this game has that lets you make use of weapons that aren't your class weapon. I'm going to put these... running out of space. And you do that by disenchanting. So for example, this Earthshaker is something that Warrior can use, right? This Beacon of Hope is a Priest Scepter that I can't use. I could sell it for 135 gold, but I've already got a lot of gold. Wait, did you just say navel gaze? What does that mean? It means to look at your belly button. Now, navel is another word for your belly button. So if you're navel gazing, it's an expression that means you're kind of like selfishly reviewing or looking at something good that you did, or reminding people of something good that you did. It's like spending time revisiting your past successes. It's kind of an indulgence, right? If you navel gaze, you're like, ooh, that was a really good thing I did. Let me look at my belly button. I'm going to look at myself. I'm going to remind myself of this good thing that I did. And it's kind of it's kind of a selfish thing. Very interesting. Anyway, so this Beacon of Hope is a Priest Scepter that I can't use. I don't want to use. And I don't want to sell it for 135 gold. So instead, what I can do is go to the city, go to the Enchantress, and choose Disenchant. And I can find that on the list. Here it is, this Beacon of Hope. And instead of selling it for gold, I can take it apart, and I can capture the rarity, capture the power of this weapon, and then transfer that power to a weapon that I do want to use. So if I disenchant this, I get a minor weapon crystal, and I get iron ore. So I do that, and now you can see that my weapon crystals have gone up, and I've got another piece of iron ore. So now I can use these resources to craft, to upgrade weapons that I do want to use. For example, the white Earthshaker I have in my inventory now with those resources, I could go to the city, go to the weaponsmith, go to upgrade, and I could choose this one. And effectively, if I have the right amount of resources, it takes a few more. It isn't one-to-one, but if I had 2 other green weapons, and I took them both apart, I would probably have enough resources to increase the rarity of one weapon that I did want to use. So it's a really nice way to always feel like the things you pick up, you can use them. Like there's like a sense of like forward momentum in the game, because you're not just selling things for gold and then buying stuff on a marketplace. Like, you pick things up, you take them apart, you capture their power, you capture their rarity, and then you craft and upgrade the things that you do want to use. I think it's a really great system. Anyway, I won't do that just yet, because I'm going to be running mostly commons tonight. The goal tonight is to just use common gear. I don't want to gear diff anybody. I want to do my best to, like, train up my skills. And if I can skill diff people, then I'm going to feel a lot better about things. Back in 82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile. I could throw a football over those mountains, right? We would have won state. Man, my life would be different. My life would be different. Quests. Don't sleep on quests. Quests are a great way to accelerate your progress with vendor reputation. I should have been paying attention to this whole time. It turns out I have a lot of these in my stash already, so that's no big deal. We'll plug these in. We would have won state, Lamau. Yeah. We don't even have states in Canada. But it's a fantastic movie, and so I know about it. Okay. So, that's that. I gave you the tour. Let's talk about, the last thing to talk about, these combos. These combos. I want to keep track. And I had the idea for this anchor jump attack Q-slam, but I don't think that's going to be it. I think that we're going to start it with this. Jump attack Q-slam as an opener. Where it goes from there, I'm not sure. We'll plug this in going forward. But what else did we learn? We did 4 reg, and then we did our headbutt, our dash headbutt, and then it was 3 reg, and then more dash headbutt, etc. Seeing it visually like this really, really helps me keep track of what I'm trying to do. This is kind of like bread and butter for PvE. I'm going to say for PvE, bread and butter, largely. Blocks, shield charge, Q-slam, headbutt. This is another one I want to work on, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Wait, Greg and White Lotus. Greg and White Lotus. Which one was Greg? Oh my god. Which one? What season of White Lotus? The first season? He was the dining room manager? Was that Greg? Greg the possible oh no, the bald guy, because it's so much older now. Because time exists. Well, it doesn't exist, but because Napoleon Dynamite was a movie from many, many years ago. Oh my god, it was him. Oh my god. Oh my god. From all seasons. Or from season 1, season 3 of White Lotus. I guess he wasn't really in season 2. He was alluded to in season 2. By the Palmero wealthy short guy. His name is John Grease. John Grise? I don't know how to read names, guys. I don't know how to read names. Anyway. Okay. We're looking for a Bob. We're looking for Bobs, actually. Are we going to be able to find people? We're filling the team. Let me just put out the call. If you miss it here, no worries. There'll be other chances. But we're doing it. Hark, my nameth be Bob. I'm trying to build a Bob squad. And I'm going to be Bob's bodyguard. And Napoleon Dynamite is from 2004. A cool 21 years ago. Hark! My nameth be Bob. So, we are US East, the trios, aka mixed lobby. and I have Team Phil on. Let's go see if I can help the Bob Squad, shall we? Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Clippy's got the lore. It is a beloved stream activity. The Bob Squad. I mean, there's so many... What is amazing, the gift that is Bob Bobberson is for a community like ours that loves just to riff and pun, right? It was just an infinite buffet. Do you say buffet? I say buffet. If I'm speaking, but I'll say buffet because it's fun to say buffet. It's a veritable Bob buffet. A buffet of bobbery, right? That was gifted to us. And it's got legs, guys. As we say in the industry, it's got legs. It's just there's so many ways from Sunday you could just make Bob a thing, right? We talked about barbarians, right? Or like blorbs, or something borbs, I think. There's a lot. There's a lot we can do with it, right? Okay, here we go. Look lively. Here we go. Here we go. Appreciate the stream, Bob. We need to figure out who it was. I don't have VoIP. Ooh, we got a geared wizard, looks like. Hey, dudes, I don't really have a mic. I'll just say hi. I can't hear what anyone's saying. I'm sorry. It's kind of a lie, but I don't want to have VoIP on because I don't trust. I've killed some people that have been very whiny. I'll say it. Very whiny. And I don't like to hear that. So I just turn my VoIP off because... I don't know what it is, but this game in particular... But this game in VoIP has never been good. And rather than suffer the mental damage from listening to them, I'll just turn it off. Because some people are insufferable. Insufferable. I'm gonna stick with the wizard. I'm just gonna be the wizard's bodyguard and let the rogue... Oh, it's Taint Tickler! Oh, it's Taint Tickler! He's in! Okay, well, Maddie knows what's up. Maddie knows what's up. I'm gonna be the wizard's Bob. Imagine a real battle having whiners like... you playing rogue? I can't believe you're playing rogue. It's such a dumb class. Meanwhile, they're dead on the ground, right? They're dead on the ground. You must suck at all games you play if you want to play rogue. You must, and just like, whoop, just, no thanks. No thanks. Don't want to hear it. And that's actually pretty tame, right, as far as it can go. Some people in this game have not been shy to throw worse things around. Okay. Lily's here. Happy Thursday. We got the Bob Squad, Lily. We're in with the Bob Squad. This wizard, though, is fearless. He's too fast for me. Taint Tickler's in. Taint Tickler spotted, indeed. Oh, hope you're feeling better. That fake voice sounds like a whiny Canadian teen. It could have very well been. Could have very well been. This wizard gives no Fs. That's how you know the class is overpowered. When the wizard is going right up the gut of, like, the busiest PvP zone. I need a bit of rage, so I'm gonna attack these wolves. Our wizard gives no Fs. It's the Bob Squad. Okay, getting my rage up. Look at him go! He doesn't care. Wow, that wizard doesn't care. He's just going for it. Players in the cemetery to the west. Players into the west cemetery. Okay, I'm full rage. Sounds like a warrior. Sounds like a warrior. Here we go. The Bob Squad. Here goes the Bob Squad. Hunter, maybe? I missed my jump attack with this guy. I want to clear these mobs so we're not messed with them. Okay, we got a hunter up here. I can block the hunter's attacks. Oh, I got knocked by that. We're dodging. We're anchoring. She dodged that. Let's wait for my anchor to come back. It's here. We've chained her. Jump attack. Nice. Q attack. Q attack? Q attack. I can't. I'm going to block. Let's block here a little bit. And only dosh. There's a mob behind me. I'll put the mob behind them. Trying to block here. No, I couldn't block in time. There's not enough frames there. Huh. Got chewed up. I think I tried to use my Quake Slam, and there's like a cooldown, so that didn't work out for me. And also, trying to interrupt an opponent's sequence with blocking doesn't work. You need more frames to ready the block. So it's almost like you have to evade first and then block to give yourself the reset time. Or you try to block the first attack in the sequence. Did we lose the wizard? We did. It's give up time. Darn. Darn. Okay, we take those. I feel like the game has lost some of the finesse that it had in the early playtests. I think that was in response to maybe players feeling like they weren't able to keep up with a lot of the melee. I'm just gonna go in naked. I'm gonna throw my bobs under the bus and be a naked warrior just for a round to see how that goes. It used to be way more satisfying and way more responsive to be able to block to interrupt attacks in the mid-sequence. It's one of those things where it was never kind of stated. It was just like a thing that happened. This wizard is back. He's naked now. Same Bob wizard. We'll keep up with him. So it's a challenge for me because I'm a little bit more, how do I say? I'm a little more acclimatized to. I have the expectations set by some of the systems of the earlier playtests, and in the heat of the moment, I haven't yet fully recalibrated myself. I'm expecting the game to be responsive like it was in the past, and it's unfortunately kind of no longer like that. Same wizard. Sorry, Maddie, I kind of crapped the bed there. I tried to be too finesseful. I should have just been more DPS output. This wizard is just going for it. Nah, I mean, I got scrumped by the cleric. Well, there was a cleric. A priest in there, was there? I feel like this is not the way to play trios. Look at this guy. Is he just way faster? Does he have a higher base movement speed? Do wizards have a higher base movement speed? Is a question. So it is unfortunate. It feels like over time, the game has become dumber. Has migrated more towards kind of ugh DPS race, the melee, what I'm referring to, when it used to be more nuanced. There was a little more ability to interrupt attack combos and quicker timing, but that is kind of a thing of the past, which is a bit unfortunate. Where did this guy go? It's too bad. It's just how it is. We have to see if there is a way to... Oh, all my resources are flying off the cliff. That's too bad. If there's a way to update our frame of mind. Where'd he go? King's Mint. I love King's Mint. That's how I make my minty potatoes, guys. My minty potatoes. Where's my team? I was trying to keep up with the wizard, but maybe that's a bad idea. The bobs have scattered to the wind. Maybe I can find the rogue? Maybe? I shouldn't have tried to keep up with the whiz. Minty potato. That's it, Clippy. That's it. These are not my teammates. Oh, I've got an indication on the compass, I guess you could call it. The compass. They are hundreds of meters away. I'll do my best here to catch up, I guess. Go through the gap here. Newport. I'm still holding out for sand. This game was cool, but not my speed. Totally feel you. Totally understandable. Sand looked weird to me. The PvE... Like, the structures were interesting. The performance was horrible. But I saw Ryan 6 days a week play sand, and then he had one PvE encounter. And the PvE was like this weird humanoid that had like purple pustules all over his like shoulders and neck. It was really strange, I thought. And it didn't look very good. But maybe I'm just misremembering. I've found my Rogue Bob. Rogue Bob is here. We're helping. We're helping. Sand on Steam. I thought that was supposed to come out in May. They were going to launch earlier this month, but they canceled at the last minute and haven't made an announcement. Right, interesting. It's probably better than launching something that is a quarter baked, right? It was looking pretty rough at the playtest, performance-wise. Like, Ryan 6 days a week was getting, I don't know, 16 frames a second at many parts of the experience. Is this guy bailing? No. Is he bailing? I hope not. He is? He is, maybe? Okay, we'll bail, reset. I agree. Prioritize a good game over a speedy launch. Yeah. Yes. A lesson... It's hard. It's hard because... if you're the maker of the game, you feel that way, right? You want to put out the best possible product. If you're an investor in a studio, or if you're studio leadership that answers to the investors, then basically you're working on their timeline. And so, if you're not a maker, you're a manager, there's more of an incentive to just ship it. Just ship what you got, and we'll fix it as we go, I think is the majority. Remember Cyberpunk? That was such a train wreck. That was months and months of entertainment. Watching them twist in the wind. Cyberpunk in 2020, December 2020. I don't know how I skated through. I had a decent system. I had a 1080. I had a 1080 at that time. And I could play it. I could run the game. And I didn't see too many weird issues. Here we go. My dudes. I'm gonna do my best to protect you. I'm sorry I don't have great comms. I'm just gonna stick with the Wiz. I'm gonna be the Wiz's pocket bodyguard, okay? That's my plan. No, good evening, Two Hands. How are you? Does that sand game look kind of cool? I think it's a cool concept. Cool concept. I hope that they wait long enough. And don't succumb to the pressure to just ship it and then fix it later. Does anyone have a treasure room key? Ooh, if they do, they're Chads. This is where the treasure room is. Treasure room key? 2 warriors. Scary. Early access for 2 years. 2 years is not a long time. It's kind of wild. Ooh, what is this? Infernal Ledger. We take those. Stamina potion. We got the Bob Squad guys. Okay, so my Quake costs Rage. What's the best way to use it? Best way to use it is to jump in and then Quake, maybe. Maybe that's how I do it. I jump in, then Quake. And then go from there. Hiya! The range of the mace and shield is not great, and the forward motion, the forward movement is also not great. So that's the most challenging bit of using this. Come on, treasure room key. I don't think they got it. Oh, next week. Keep an eye on the Discord. That might be an ideal thing to do on I Love Mondays. Who knows? Playable demo. I don't think they've got it. Yeah. Rip. Demo is dropping Tuesday, so maybe next Thursday? Right. I wonder how long the demo will run for. Ideal candidate for I Love Mondays. Let's do the big boys here. Big boys. Jumping in, a little slammy slam. Whoops. I got hit by the wizard ability. Jumping in. Let's juggle them. Nice. Let's loot that body. Gonna loot that body. Gonna leave all that stuff for my Bob friends. Yeah, totally. Totally. Oh yeah. There's a bit of a... You can kind of control, at least how you look. Your jump attack is controllable a little bit, which is interesting. You can't change your momentum, but you can change the way you're looking, which is cool. I like that. It's a good way to close the gap, and then in with the quake slam, and then we go from there. I feel like. Being block is ranged. Oops, that's annoying. Verticality is the warrior's greatest nemesis. It feels like trying to climb up things sometimes can be pretty frustrating. But it's good that they do have a weakness. It's an important part of the system. If you're a class that can't compete as well in melee, and you've got verticality on them... Did he go downstairs? Sandro Defilers? What a weird name. The guy's name is Sandro Defilers. It's like one regular name and then one fantasy name. Okay. How do we feel about this Bob Squad action? Is it more interesting if I just run around in solo and kind of describe what I'm doing? I had the intention of this being more of a group combat activity. Bob Squad. Okay, Bob Squad is good because, right, there's a chance for other members, right? We got Bobs out there. Legacy Bobs are kind of weird. The trio fights are interesting. Okay, great. Good. Oops. Excuse you, mister. Okay. Let's top ourselves up here. Sandro Defilers. I guess it's similar to any squad-based game where a squad that has comms is going to have a significant advantage. over squads that do not. But that's no big deal. We can see the juggle combo in action here. As long as I have stamina, I can go for a good long time. Oh, he reset. I pushed him so far. The bloody guy resets and reheals. Wow. Thank you. Great. Let's try that again, shall we? This is an elite mob, so they've got things. They've got HP, and I am in a base kit. This is a baby naked man. Naked man Bob squad. Give the Bobs a chance on VoIP. I don't want to. It's not the Bobs on my team, it's hearing everybody else, Maddie. And I'm sorry if that's boring, but I've heard enough. And maybe if this was a private stream, sure, but I just don't care for it. It's not my jam. I'm not sure if these, like, I would be able to see if they were talking as well. I could see, like, their microphone if they were attempting to VoIP. The strong silent Bob. Got a lot of copper ore. Looks like some iron ore up here. Is this not jumpable? It's jumpable. Good. Keep our eyes and ears open. Coming up from the Goblin Cave. I don't have a great backpack, so my ability to carry things is limited. So I'm a bit loath to go to like a high loot zone, like PvE loot zone. Maybe I can lead the team towards the castle. Hiya! Oh, Quake action? Yeah. Quake does a lot of damage. And I think it hits people who are just off the ground as well. I don't know if, like, Quake is an ability that you can avoid if you're off the ground. I need to do a bit of testing on that. Hiya! Oh, the wizard damage. Wizard's got that damage. Can I get up here? I don't think so. Nope. I have to go the long way around. It's our curse. Big, strong legs can't jump. Imagine having legs this strong and not being able to jump. Imagine. Okay, nice. I'm helping with the mage. That was the high-value target. Where'd he go? Where did his body go? Here, maybe? Interesting. Couple of candles. I don't usually come up here. Human equivalent of a chicken. Got wings, can't fly. Yeah. Chickens can jump across modules, though, right? They sure can. Jump across modules. Clippy. Well played, Clippy. Well played. Hey, did SDF post what his vision was yet? Is there any update? I'm so interested in that. 5 minutes? We're extracting. We're extracting, Bobs. Any word. He posted a single message. I believe it was just in general chat. Such an ominous message. Okay, nothing. Great. Not that I care about this wipe at all, but that's it's a little, I can't resist a little bit of drama like that. I can't resist. I'm extracting. GG Bobs. I'll craft some gear. Let's see if I can buy anything back from the Goblin Merchant. There is a Goblin Recovery service in Legacy now, which is quite convenient. Let's see if I can get anything back from that previous L. What happened to that rogue that I liked so much? You talking about... Is that a really cute way of saying the rogue I used to play? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is there some other rogue that we played with before? I'm at a loss. You're being flattering, that's very cute. Got a lot of materials. A lot of copper ore. A lot of things to sell. I want to say Matthias? Matthias? How should I pronounce that? Matthias? I'm curious. I don't want to get it wrong. Don't want to get it wrong. From Argentina. Welcome. Let's see here. Quick reset. Matthias. Matthias. Is that better? Matthias? Matthias? It's tough in text, isn't it? But if I can avoid getting it wrong, I want to avoid getting it wrong. Matthias. And now I'm just saying the guy's name again and again. I apologize, but I want to get it. We put in the work now, so we get it right. And going forward is my preference, right? My preference. All I did was somewhat allude to the fact that maybe they really did steal the game, and not 10 seconds later banned from the Discord, from the dad Discord, not from the game, not from the game, surely. From the dad Discord. No. No, you didn't. Okay, just from Discord. You're not really missing much. You're not missing much there. At least that. Dare I say, who cares, right? The Discord is just like a cesspool anyways, right? And as the game flounders and dies, people just get more and more sour there. You're not missing much. City. Weaponsmith. Holy copper. Yeah. Brother. I was prepping for today. I wanted to make sure I had enough materials to craft warrior kits. But it turns out maybe I've gone a little bit overboard, maybe. You know what I mean? I got copper. Let's check the goblin recovery. Let's also sell the rest of our materials here. Takes a lot to keep things organized, but you're never going to be organized unless you stay organized, right? To the city, we'll sell these things. Selling these things for a meager sum. Goblin pawn shop? No items available. Sad. That's okay. We didn't get anything back. Let's put on a decent common kit. Get back in with the Bob Squad. See what happens. Banned from the Discord, Maddie. For suggesting that maybe they stole the game. A little bit sensitive, perhaps, right? It's funny how... how's the expression go? Like, I think you protest too much or something? There's some funny thing there where... It's just funny. Ooh, face bun bandage. Look out. Dang. Dang. Anything else that's good? Look at all these satchels I can make. Cool. Just a basic backpack, please. Just a basic one. Just commons. We're not looking to gear diff, stomp. The lady doth protest too much. Thank you. Yes. The lady doth protest too much. Very good. Stamina potion I'll bring. Let's get better bandages. Let's get a stack of weak pots. Wait, I can't bring this in because it's not on my belt. I love this change. This change is you can only bring consumables, including heals, in your tool belt. And so it used to be that people would just stack so many meds in the backpack and fights would go on forever because people just had heals forever. So I think that was a super positive change. The sky has not fallen. Things are fine. Lodge. Cooking pot. Blin's patented minty baked potato. Good for 5 adventures. Give me that extra stamina. Stamina, 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 so I can headbutt fools into the dirt. Greetings, Zio. How are you? Who's Lady Doth? I'm just kidding. Nap, very good. Well played. Well played. Happy Thursday, Zio. Happy Thursday, everybody. We are playing the Bob Squad. We are just queuing in US East, the trios, aka the mixed queue, and I am filling my team with Bobs, and I'm going to be Bob's bodyguard, is the idea. I'll try one more trios, and then maybe I'll try a duos also, to see how that goes, but I'm going to fire this up. If you want a Q snap, you're welcome to. Otherwise, it's organic Bobs. King's Mint on a baked potato sounds nice. I wonder if a minty potato would actually meteor Bobs, I hope. Oh, I can't wait to do it again. Zio. I can't wait to do it again. Okay, we're in. We're in. A minty sauce on a baked potato for sure. Yeah. Get that stamina going. Okay, cool. I'm gonna stick with the hunter. I'm gonna be the hunter's bodyguard. Where'd my HUD go? Guys, I got no HUD. I can't escape. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can I pick anything up? I can. Uh-oh. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I'm flying blind. It's kind of fun, actually. It's kind of fun. Wait, I must have... Maybe there's a command. Maybe I did like a shift. Can somebody... I know there is a command to hide the interface. They included that back in the alpha days. They're like, if you want to take a nice screenshot, press this key. There is a key. No, but look at my teammates' names are kind of glitched. Is your guy's HUD missing? I can't see my inventory. I can't see anything. Alt-U. Rip. Thank you, Clippy. I don't think it's not going to save us. Well, I got to keep eyes on the hunter, I think. Scuffed. The Bob Squad having challenges. The challenges of Bob Squattage. Are you still here? Milady? Uh-oh. Thank you for looking that up so quickly. Uh-oh. His name is Red now. I hear steppies. Is it him? I think this is him. He's gonna follow this guy around. Oh, here she comes. Nice. Okay. We still got the band together. Okay. I'm sticking with the hunter. I'm gonna go where the hunter goes. Oh, yeah. Ooh. At least I can see my teammates' HP. So I know if they're, like, in real trouble. But I got no HUD, I got no map. The only way I'm getting out of here is if I keep this hunter in my sights. Oh, I can't even enjoy the backpack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was a bit stuck there. This is not going to be a looting round. Band of bobbers. Totally. We even have a female bassist. You know your band has got something good when you have a female bassist. Goes a long way. Credibility. Cool factor. Now that I say that, how many bands have actually had... I was just thinking about the Smashing Pumpkins. I was like... What other bands? I have a female bassist. I can't even think of any. Let me think. Hiya! Hiya! Can't loot. I can only fight. I can pick things off the ground, I guess. That's not bad. Other than DayZ, War Tales is the only game I've played where you can chuck pumpkins at people. Can you chuck pumpkins in War Tales? Hey, this game, the goblin slingshot guys will throw pumpkin bombs at you. That's a thing. It exists. I can't throw it at them. Priest magic this way in the valley by the chapel. Wizard priest fight. I'm gonna stick with the hunter. Uh-oh. Jumping. Building rage. Okay, got some rage now. We can take this fight. Oh, there's a big old fight. Look at this, dudes. There's a big old fight in the back valley here. Staying with the hunter. So if the hunter gets pushed, I can help. Look at the fight! This is a huge... There's like 2 full squads fighting here. This is wild. Yeah, I know, Library. I'm sorry, buddy. Nice shooting. I'll block for you. Our rogue is fighting. Rogue smoke bombed. Nice. It's a whole battle. Oh, they're still fighting over here. Look at all this nonsense. This is wild. Our rogue is in. Oh, come on back, rogue. Come on back. Here comes a warrior. That rogue's in trouble. Uh-oh, he's tethered. And now here comes the wizard. Uh-oh, rogue. Uh-oh, rogue. He's in the gravity well. Rogue is dead. Okay, that warrior is down. Priest is down here. I caught the priest. We jump in. We slam. Oh, I made that mistake again. Slam? Can't slam. No HP. What a mess. What a mess. Nary an opportunity for melee damage. You just get gravity weld. Booty Muncher is a great name. Totally. What did I try to do there? I jumped in and I didn't wait for the reset on my Quake ability. Hard because I can't see... Oh, Meteor came down. Alt U again? It's supposed to toggle UI. Yeah, it's not it. Like, I think that if it was Alt U, I wouldn't see the names of my comrades here. I think this is like just like a bug. Uh-huh. I like the Barb Companion. Shadowheart Best Companion not even up for debate. Shadowheart captured the hearts and minds of many a person. Can I even do anything here? No, I have to alt. I have to force quit the game, I think, is how this works. Thank you. We'll end the task. And we'll reboot the game. Tough. It's a tough situation to wade into. There's so much control on the battlefield these days. There's so much mobility and kiting and control that it's a very dangerous thing to wade into. She's the only one I've got far with? What is... who is Alfira? Alfira? Is that another character? I don't think I ever had that person in my party, if so. I don't think I ever had that person in my party. The tiefling. I see. I see. No. Missed it. I missed it. Any chance to buy back? Not yet. We'll have to check in on him. So talented. I see. A bard tiefling. It's been a long week. My brain is gone. It happens. Welcome in, Lily. Put your feet up, if you can. I'm a bit reluctant to, like, run more gear in that situation because I feel like it's a wizard's world. Let's see. I'm gonna jump in again. Tavern's still up. Thank you. We're back. We're back. Thank you, Luke. We're back. One more Bob run. And if this isn't scratching the itch, then I might just do some naked runs to get some combat that I can focus on and work on some combos. You can kind of get her in the camp, but not in the way you want. Man, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I got totally strong-armed into starting a relationship with Lae'zel, and by the time I realized I didn't want to be in a relationship with her, it was kind of too late. And then I had to kind of break up with her, and I felt so bad for, like... I'm not a good breaker-upper. Like, I felt so bad. And she was also like kind of a main part of my party. Like I was kind of like a big melee focused party, and so I just had to like, she was just like a main, it's just a game blend. Yeah, but it's a very immersive game, you know? Didn't want to be in a relationship with Lae'zel. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't know. I became interested in other people as the game went on, but found myself in a relationship with Lae'zel. I think they kind of like, they designed her to be kind of romantically aggressive to help like break the ice, and I think it's very clever. It's very, very clever, very smart way to go about that. What about your common bloodworm bond? Very smart way to get people to come out of their shells a little bit, right? But by the time I was out of my shell, I realized that I had made a mistake and wasn't actually that attracted to her, you know. There is a lot going on. Gale was a real bro through my playthrough, even though I had no romantic interest in him. It was hard to tell him no when he asked. Hey, what, like, even Tolkien, right? Tolkien, in Lord of the Rings. Sam and Frodo, there were nights where Sam comforted Frodo with his words and body, right? Comforted Frodo. I'm not sure what the exact quote is, but there is something a little more to Sam and Frodo, right? But it was a different time. It was harder to be out in the open with that kind of stuff. Way less tolerance in the world. The world was a dumber place back then. So you had to be very poetic about it. Comforted Frodo with his words and body. Perfect wizard archetype. I can do the thing where I do my hands, right, like this. And my wife, she just doesn't understand how I can do it. Bob tag off, thank you. Thank you. Tunnel vision sometimes. Tolkien had to be slick with it, yes. Yes. Did Blinn just vogue? No. No, Blinn just igneast. It's a very specific way you have to fold your hands and arms, right? And if you do it very quickly, without prompting, other people who struggle to tap their head and rub their tummy, like my wife, their little minds are blown. My wife actually has a much bigger brain than me, but in that regard, in terms of coordination, I think I've got a slight advantage. Physical coordination, I've got a little more. But let's just say that my wife leads the charge when it's tax season. Because my brain could use a few extra wrinkles in that regard. Strong brain. Warrior have strong brain. Ignice. Oh, very strongly hinted that Gandalf and Galadriel were intimate, even though Galadriel was married. Such scandal, right? Such scandal. You'd think that, like, elves being immortal beings would, like, have, I don't know, flexible views of monogamy. Because, forever's a long time, you know? What's going on here? Tolkien loved gossip. I mean, who doesn't? Only human, right? Only human. SDF drops a line in general chat saying, I'm going back to my vision. And it puts a bee in everyone's bonnet. Rightly so. And rightly so. A big old bee in the bonnet. I mean, what are epic songs, if not gossip from a previous age, you know? Think of it like that. Think of, like, the songs of the ancient halls of the dwarves. It's just being gossip, you know? No more vision. I can't handle it. I'm so thankful that I'm taking a break for the rest of the season. I'm so thankful. Oh, I think it's quite beautiful and romantic that the elves decided to devote their eternity to each other. That's nice. Yeah, no shade. I'm a highly monogamous person. Highly monogamous. But I also, you know, I have an open mind. I know that other people have different preferences. Other people might see it differently. Tolerance is important. It's good to be confident. It's good to know yourself. It's also good to be tolerant of other views. I'm even tolerant of the view that believes that you shouldn't be tolerant to other views. That's how deep it goes. We're in the hotspot here. This was like a festival in the previous session. And there is currently nobody here. Deep cut. Yeah. What's going on here? Let's work on this guy. Work on the shield, bro. Get him! Dodge, headbutt. Dash, headbutt. Headbutt. Break his block. I get enraged. Very nice. My base kit does minimal damage. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'll leave these fancy trees for my homies. For the Bob Squad. I'll take this chest, though. Let's try Alt-U. Oh, yeah, look at that. It works. Alt-U. Hide the HUD. Quite nice. Lily, I hear you. I hear and agree. "7 hours ago, and nothing since." What? Can you imagine being... Imagine being a fly that just followed SDF around for 72 hours just to get an actual sense of what his real life in Korea is like, right? What's the real life like? Palace intrigue, dudes. Palace intrigue. Here we go. Big boy. Let's unlock the big boy. This helps the team. Helps the team. I'm helping. I'm helping. Oh, the gravity well. I'm helping. Very nice. Nothing much to take here. Maybe the rune, I guess. Maybe the rune. Just bought the game today. I'm having a blast. Ooh, that reminds me. We have a key to give away. Sorry, Cold Coder. That your purchase of the game has reminded me that we have a key. We should probably do it now, right? I'm going to repost. This is a good one to pin for a little bit. Pin this one. What do you think, Clippy? Should we do the key giveaway now? Probably, right? More keys? I have one more. One more key to give away. And why not say... Why not reward all the people in chat currently for hanging out? Sure, why not? Okay, let's do it. Type Speen for a chance to win our last legacy key. Type Speen. And please, we will only put you in if you do the exclamation mark Speen. It makes Clippy's job a little bit easier. If you're making a joke, we don't know if you want in or not. So type exclamation mark Speen if you want in on a wheel spin to get a free copy of this game. Priest is here. Priest is here. I locked her down. We're jumping. We're slamming. We're playing around the mirror, trying to dodge out of the way of this. I'm gonna heal a little bit. I'm gonna take a stamina potion. I'm gonna stay out of the gravity well. I'm gonna see if I can hook chain them again. I missed with that. I'm gonna get in on the front line now. I'm gonna charge. Hit the priest. Headbutts. Quiets them down. Headbutts. Quiets them down. Headbutts. Oh, I'm totally stun locking this guy. Wow, I ate that warrior for breakfast. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. The power of the headbutts, dudes. I finally died. No, I didn't die. I just got knocked. Wow. I'm gonna kill this guy. Let's execute that. That was pretty funny. Pretty funny. And I'm gonna take his things. I'm gonna wear his things. I am become him. No, I need the mace. Should have taken the mace. Thank you. Very nice. And the ear. Can I spin for a friend? Of course. No worries. Spin away for your friends. If that's what you like. I absolutely stun chained their frontliner. Holy crow. Yeah. That's the one combo in action. I want to see for other meds. There are 4 entries right now. Good odds. Yeah, very good odds. I think everyone owns the game already. No worries. That's good for those who do not. I'm a fan of such things. Oh, Two Hands finally has taken the spin seriously. It's no longer memeing. I've been cursed. It's probably bad. I'm gonna try to heal. I have a couple of debuffs active. I think this Wraith was a quest I had. Oh, so we're all doing it for friends? Yeah. People to play with is always nice. I agree. Man, I am like holy debuffed and curse debuffed. Not ideal. I am become this guy. That's that. Backpack is full of goodies. Just want to make sure everyone who's spinning already has it. Nice. Ooh, a green chest piece. We don't mind those. Here are these things I don't need. Cool. Apparently this makes a boulder I can pick up. Ah, I see. Requires giant strength. Interesting. I don't see a lot of people doing that. Keep healing. Mobs fighting mobs. Kind of low on meds. Looks like we're kind of drifting toward... Maybe head for extract. I'm kind of low on meds. Okay. Sounds like they know the plan. Let us do it. Wizard here on the right. Got a bit of rage to work with. Trapped him. Headbutt. He's out of stamina. Headbutt. Eat it, wizard. Dead. Feel like I did a service to my teammate here. Kingsman. No, the Kingsman's gone. Too slow. Need meds. Ear. More damage when I have more ears. Got a perk. If I collect more ears in my backpack, I'm listening to Ween. I do more damage. Where do you farm blues after normal mode and night mode? After? I farm blues in specific chests in Greenwood Day. Otherwise, it's like elite mobs. You fight the big red skellies, you've got a chance for blues there. I've never gone up this way before. Interesting, interesting. An interesting way up into the estate. This is a maple tree. I'm gonna drop this for now. Grab some of this maple wood. Big fancy resource. Looks like we got a good output here too. Very nice. I'll drop this copper. I'll drop these lilies. Pick up my chest piece again. Very nice. Have a look out here. Okay. What happened? Dropped? Oh, what happened? Ooh, this looks like a... What do you call it? A tool belt. Nice. Helpful. Upgrade. Very nice. Extract? Let's do it. Let's get out of here. We're going for it. Last call for any speeners. Indeed. Thank you, Clippy. Good round with the bobs. That was a big one. That was a big round. Oh, Zyle's in. I'm cooking dinner. And Sneakers is in. Nice, thanks, Clippy. Let's see if this is the time I get lucky. Cool. I'm gonna do a quick bathroom break while Clippy polishes up the wheel. We'll be right back, okay? BRB. no, I'm late. How do you type that in chat? Happy Thursday, Rusty. I see that, Clippy, thank you. Wheel is closed. I hope you're having a good Thursday, Rusty. Good to see you, man. Okay. Wheel is closed. Let us turn off the spin notification. Let's get the wheel going. Let me do this here for a simpler backdrop. And then we'll go this one. Flippy, thank you very much. Look at these odds, guys. 8 people on the wheel. Roll a d8 to see if you get a free copy of Legacy, of the game. Who is here? Luke Ney is here. Lily, Nap, Jorkin, Two Hands, Mateo, Zio, and Sneakers. 8. And then there were 8. Are you ready? Thank you again to Notorious for providing keys. It's very nice. We wish you the best this season 1. Let's see which among these fine folks gets their own free copy of the game to play themselves or pass along as they wish. Good luck, everyone. Indeed. Here we go. Spin to win. Spin to win. Who's it gonna be? Oh, who's it gonna be? None other than NAP. NAP. GG. GG's. Nap. NAP. Excellent. Hooray. Whoa, Mateo. What happened there? Thank you very much, Clippy, for that. Excellent work. Excellent. Shaved hairstyle? No, we're good. How do I feel about this armor? This headpiece is interesting. Interesting. Thank you, Clippy, for managing the DMs on Discord. It's very nice of you. You got some maple wood there. Ash bucket. We are maxed out on ash buckets. Cheese. Pumpkins. Armor. Weapon crystal? Weapon crystal. Glow grubs. Polished stones. Grave wax were good. Sewing needles. Goes in the toolbox. Glow moss. Here. And we got some scraps for the loom. We got some things to sell, including these ears. I think I'm going to run a couple of rounds of solo just to get a little bit more focus. A little more focus. Dark runes here. I'm probably going to lose. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with losing. As long as I learn something. Got a lot of gear still. Got a lot of warrior gear to go through. Let's see if in the city, the pawn shop. No, I'm kind of curious as to, I guess, like, if things populate here, do I have to wait for the refresh time? It's, this is where you get back things that you lost if no one looted them. A mystery favor. Let's do this a couple of times. A favor is a special item that if you sell to a vendor, you increase the reputation by a large amount. So this obsidian mirror is a favor that I sell to the enchantress for bonus reputation. I got 210 rep for that. The weaponsmith likes these bloody wolf hearts. Go figure. Quite tasty. Very nice. Cool. Let's do some other selling of my ears. My grave wax. Let's check in on the lodge cooking pot. We got our minty potato, which is good. And we've got other materials to put in here, which is nice. Well, let me know if you want some muscle? Oh, Maddie, if you want to just run a duo, maybe I'll just add you. We can just add you. Do a duo if you want to. Wonder, are you on? Taint Tickler? You're here. You're out of game. Let me do a solo first. Get my butt kicked. And then we can try it again. How's that sound? Hopefully okay. You're down for a duo? Okay, hop on then. Let's try it. I'm not risking too much. Stamina potion I've got. I'm not really feeling this helmet. This helmet doesn't do much for me. I'm going to put on my charging helmet. Matthias. Matthias. And how about a band of some kind? Do a ring of health. Sure. Now I need to buy or craft. I'll buy an earth shaker. Yes. I'll buy 2 earth shakers. Earth shaker. Armorer. City. Shoulder piece? Sure. Oops, that was a chest piece. Okay, Maddie's online. It's weird. Out of game, but tried sending an invite anyway. Oh, there he is. Nice. We'll go duos with Maddie. Let me just do a quick round of the armor here for a shoulder piece. Charge distance. We like it. We like these things. Good. One or two common pieces. Yay, the final key has been delivered. Thank you, Clippy, very much. Thank you for managing that. We appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, let's try with Maddie. Level 6 rogue. You're welcome, NAP. Do you prefer NAP or NAP? For as long as I can remember, I've said both. Do you have a preference? All right, Maddie's in. NAP. I didn't see who wrote that, and I was like, oh, I just saw like the text, and I was like, uh-oh, how do I pronounce that? But then I saw it was 2 hands. Then I saw it was 2 hands. N-A-P. Nyep. 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 Like that? Is that how you want me to say your name? Nyep. Ooh. Priest this way. We're on the case. Wizard and priest. Jumping in. Slamming. Can't slam. Slamming now. Headbutt. Let's see if we can charge her. We hit her. Nice blade rush, Maddie. Nice. Execute. Let's get the wizard. He could be right here. Go on. We got one. We take the ears. I have no preference, believe it or not. But nap is traditional, I suppose. Cool. No preference. Oh yeah. Excellent. Hey, moving on from deadlock. Ooh. We're listening. Let's get some loot for the Taint Tickler. That's what I want to do. Couple of melee bros. Marvel Rivals is fun. It's so easy to get into, but there's like enough depth, and all the team comps are really interesting. It's nice to play a game with like an IP. Like if you're familiar with the Marvel IP, you know, it's fun. You know, to be Iron Man. Hear all the cut lines and stuff. Oh, there's a headpiece for you. Oh yeah, looking good. Do a little twirl for me if you can hear me. Can you hear this okay? Ooh. Before playing Marvel, I was so-so on Marvel movies, but playing it encouraged me to watch through them. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, the Marvel movies are designed to be fun, right? They're not all designed to be like serious movies. If you watch them to have a good time, like that's what it's for. Yeah, just don't watch the new stuff, it falls off. Right. When did the first Iron Man movie come out? It was like 2008, was it not? It was so long ago. +1 grub. Daddy love grub. 2008. Nailed it. Hiya! That was before, like... That was like, they just took a chance on that IP. That wasn't even like Marvel. Was there any other kind of like Marvel movies, or did that kick it off? Yeah, 2008, holy. Let's go around the estate. Do you need meds? Should heal up. Spin in a circle if you need meds. Maddie's got to heal. There he goes. There he goes. Here they come. Oh, I can't do anything. Oh, completely... What happened there? Completely stun-locked. There. I feel like this game is like a big race to whoever can stun-lock the other person first. It's just, that's it. It has devolved into just stun-lock game. Wow. Well, good thing you VoIP off, Blin Lamau. Yeah, I bet. That was wild. See? See? I know. I know why. I understand now. Yeah. What happened there? So, I hook chained the priest. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Hook chained the priest. And then I jump in, and again, I foolishly went for my Quake attack, and I need to wait until the reset happens. But because it's a wizard, there's a gravity well. And because I didn't immediately stun the priest, she gets her AoE stun. So then we're stunned from the priest Heaven's Ward. We're in the gravity well. Gravity well plus anything. Gravity well plus a hunter's trap. Gravity well plus stun beams, stars. Absolutely. Yeah. So. And then how long, Moss, do you remember? What's the recharge time on the gravity well? Even if you manage to escape. Uh-huh. And then some other stuff. Yeah. That's cool. I get it. Not long. It's like 10 seconds at most. Yeah. Interesting, right? Thanks, Maddie, for jumping in there, buddy. Sorry about that. There's certain things that you can't overcome. Okay, we're gonna play it solo for a little bit. We'll play it solo. We're gonna split these. And I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna say goodbye. Goodbye, Maddie. Thank you. And we're just gonna go naked boy solos and see. That class comp was tough. It used to be a melee game. It used to be. And now it's a stun lock game. I guess that was always the issue with rogues. People had an issue with, like, the rogue cheap shot ability, the phantom dagger ability. We got one at least, totally. First movie is good, requires very little Marvel context. Which one was the first one? Oh, Doctor Strange's. Interesting. I remember seeing the first one, where the whole thing is kind of introduced, but that's like the beginning of multiverse stuff. What do you find the most competitive class? Go on Twitch and see what all the easy kill farmers are using. That's the most powerful class. Now, I think after the Season 1 changes, after the improvements to mobility and range damage, I mean, it's probably Wizard first. I mean, it's definitely Wizard first. I can't tell who's more deadly in the second place position. It might be Priest right now. It might be Priest. But it depends. It depends if it's solo. Depends if it's team comp. But certainly Wizard. I can't tell if they did it intentionally. If they make the class so overpowered by mistake, or if they do it to, like, make people, like, to drive interest in the season. Because if you release a class that isn't super powerful, then people tire of it quickly, or it, like, the game maybe falls back into, like, an older meta. It feels less fresh. What team comp for 3s do you rate? I don't play 3s enough to have enough input meaningfully. Probably Wizard, Hunter, Priest, to be honest. But there are different people that are good at different classes. It's hard for me to recommend. I'm just trying to get a little more practice playing Warrior, and also to see if I can find a way to take what is ostensibly the weakest class this season and find ways to beat some of the best classes this season. As a designer, I find that I accidentally make things too strong on first pass, simply because I haven't seen it in action for dozens of hours. If you think about every instance of a new class in Dark and Darker, when the Warlock came out, a Warlock with enough magical healing was basically unkillable. When the Druid came out, when people learned how to make that work, right, there was a big issue. I mean, there still is an issue with Druid. That's never gone away, really, but it's suffered nerfs. There's a ton of Bard nerfs, and Bard is still... Remember when Maddie got banned from the Discord for suggesting that Iron Mace took the original concept of Dark and Darker and original class design? Because every class that they've added since the original 6 has been a deviation from the game in some weirdly ignorant way, right? When Sorcerer first came out, Lightning Storm was obviously broken, right? Yeah, the infinite healing and nuke COP, I do not miss those days, yes. Remember Lightning Storm, right? Lightning Storm was just wasting trios in 1.1 seconds. That was an issue. So it's the same thing here, I suppose, right? Newport says, without dozens of hours of testing, how do you know something is overtuned? I guess my counter to that is, as a designer, you should have an idea of how a thing's going to play out, right? If you're a capable, competent designer, you can imagine the outcome of something. That's what makes a designer. And then also, there is a bunch of closed-door testing that happens before the broader playtests of a thing. And then there's also the data you get from broader playtests of a thing. And in the face of all of that data, if you still don't realize that a thing is out of band for power levels that exist in the game, then maybe there's an issue. Classic trap of designing something that is fun for few, but not fun for most. You design the game, you know how it will play. Yes. Uh-oh. Let's listen. Let's heal. I love being naked. So I feel like it's a little more of a clean look. Like, if I can beat someone just with the basic loadout skills, then I know that, like, the strategy is viable. You could also argue that this headbutt is overtuned, right? Or, like, that this, like, silence ability is overtuned. It's new this season. Not a lot of people know what to do about it. The only thing you can do when you're silenced is dodge. And I'm abusing that versus players who don't have the experience to know to dodge. They also said that they introduced the silence because they needed some other way to introduce control that wasn't just rooting. I think a big part of the feedback from Season 0 and before in the alpha play tests was like, you know, people could be paralyzed, people could be slowed, but that was kind of it. And they wanted to have other ways that attacks could affect people. And so the silence is the kind of first, is a step out, a step into a new paradigm. I've done a few rebalanced mods in my day, and like 80% of the time it was just tweaking and testing. Tweaking and testing, tweaking and testing. Yeah. Naked bodybuilder on sandals. I really don't like it when the warrior has no pants. It makes me feel dumb. I think it looks dumb. But I get it that you're just wearing a loincloth. Imagine having calluses on your feet so strong that you didn't need to wear shoes. A true warrior. A true warrior. It is disappointing to see the game migrate towards more control and escape than like actual counterplay. Like I said, I guess back in the very beginning of the alpha playtests, like people were more interested in melee, even though there was only 2 melee classes. There was a little more, and the melee was more responsive. Let's see. More just rogues, or like mobs fighting mobs. And this season so far, just totally dominated by mobility and escape. Mobility, control, and escape. And that's fun if you don't mind playing those kind of like middle distance games. But it makes the game more of a hero shooter and less of like a melee game. And I'm in love with the melee experience. Uh-oh. Dodge the bombs. Trying to keep my HP up. Listening. El Tigre. Hey, maybe someone can help me. I got a Mac, and I know Mac isn't the best when it comes to gaming, but will I ever be able to play this game on my Mac with my crossover? I don't have too much experience with crossover. I have a Mac as well. I love it when I can play a game on my Mac. Not a lot of games are optimized for it. And typically, Macs have like different video card hardware specs. And not a lot of games can be optimized for those specific pieces of hardware. Listening. Here, maybe fighting in the cemetery. The long story is, I think Legacy is lucky enough to get some of its optimization in check just for regular PC play. I'm not sure about Max. This rogue is healing. Or this priest, I should say. I snared her. Jumping in. Slamming with my quake. Ooh. Bit of AoE from the mob there. Okay, we got her. Much more navigable when it's just 1v1. Okay, a little concerned about this mage. Dodge that. Can't interrupt him here. In we go. I've got no stamina, so I can only jump to close the gap. I can't, ooh, it's tough. Fighting with no stamina is tough. And the warrior stamina takes so long to recharge. Okay, cool. Steam game, interesting. And there's like requirements for crossplay and stuff that Steam games have. I don't have a lot of experience thinking of things in those terms. But that's good to hear. An ear gives me bonuses. Take the staff to take apart. Don't need a lot of these things. Oh, we're running low on time. Let's grab... I don't need a rotten apple, thank you. Luke asks, do elite mobs have different attacks? Absolutely they do. But my strategy is... We have a long way to go. My strategy... I guess I go to coin. I have 100 coins? I do. Let's go to coin. My strategy is to cycle through certain attacks that I have that keep the elite mobs stun locked. See if I can do it here, quickly. Jump in here. Oh. He's gonna breathe fire. We jump in. Nope. The blue is unstoppable. So you see blue. That's unstoppable. Now he's silenced. So the headbutt is really great for silencing. I'm out of stamina, but hopefully I can get the job done here. Ooh, that was very close. So even though it looks like, you know, there's not much going on, like if that mob was able to actually finish an attack... Oh, hello. A purple meteor. Interesting. There'd be more to dodge, more to deal with. I also have a goblin lever. Maybe I can just go to the goblin lever. Let's do that. It's a bit closer. I wonder what paladin will be like, new class. Well, it'll be melee, I assume. Probably use a big hammer, I assume. Probably a lot of protection, defense. More of like a classic tank. Like if warrior here is kind of like... My shoulder pad looks weird. It looks too big, doesn't it? It's weird. If the warrior is kind of like melee DPS and is a bit light on defense, like I'm playing the most defensive warrior build, but you play with an axe on warrior, you have no block. Like, I think warrior is like melee DPS. Paladin, I imagine, will be more of like a classic tank. Armor, HP, protection, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference if the same amount of control still exists in the game. It's so hard to balance a melee and ranged combat experience. Not a lot of games come to mind that, like, are able to successfully overcome the binary of, like, if the warrior is within melee distance, like, does the opponent have enough tools to deal with him in melee? Can they compete in melee? And the answer is usually no. And the flip side of that is, it's kind of like Dark and Darker. It's like, the melee classes are just a DPS race, and there's very little counterplay. And then the squishy classes have to keep running, have to stay away, because if they're caught by a barbarian, a ranger dies, right? There's no way for a ranger really to use melee in an effective way to parry, to block, to buy time. Like, it's just, they can only run and make space. It's almost like there's very little way to, you know, Chivalry 2 did it well. Chivalry 2, you could play as an archer, and the archer had enough melee capability to block and parry, didn't have as much stamina. The weapons weren't as big, weren't as heavy hitting, but like you could absolutely outplay a knight, outplay like a heavy melee as an archer, using a small sword, using a cudgel, whatever, and win. You could. It was difficult, but there was enough blocking and feint and parrying to do that. And I feel like because Legacy and Dark and Darker, the range classes don't have any melee potential, it becomes a kind of game where the melee classes want to close the gap and just stay stuck in melee. The kiting classes want to run forever, because if they get caught, they're dead. There's no nuance in the middle, right? Sounds like I'm installing Shiv 2. Shiv 2 is the absolute high watermark for me, because it was primarily a melee game with some range on the side. And in games that try to have more ranged in the picture, gamers, want the easy way out, right? It's why you see on Twitch so many people playing Wizard, because it's the easy way out. And who doesn't want easy wins for stream, right? Easy wins, farming clips, whatever it is. Like, and so there's a reason why all those people are jumping all over that class, because that class is out of whack, and it's just free kills. And it's content, right? Because you're winning the game. But Chivalry was a melee combat game that had range on the side, and games like Dad, games like Legacy that allow too much range damage into the picture, give players an easy way out, so everyone gravitates to that. And also, these games don't have, like, those melee kiting classes don't have those ranged kiting classes don't have a melee alternative. All they can do is run. And when that's the case, it's just perma-druid. It's just the druid experience, right? Have you finished Andor yet? No spoilers, please. Ranger's only melee is spear backstep. Exactly. Why not have, in Dark and Darker, why not have a rapier that has an amazing block, an amazing counterattack? Doesn't do much damage, but if you parry with the rapier, you get a little thrust damage in there, right? Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it keeps you alive. And like, if the bloody flute can parry in Dad, there's no excuse for why the rapier doesn't have a block and a parry, right? if the flute can parry, why the F is the rapier just attack only, right? If the rapier, if more weapons had the ability to actually navigate and compete in melee in a nuanced way, you'd have an incredible game. You'd have an incredible game. If Legacy, similarly, had these classes, gave them an ability to compete in melee, they wouldn't need to rely on bullshit control. And that's what it is. It's just bullshit escape and control that is fun for some, is not fun for most. And I think it's on the wrong path. It's on the wrong track. And not to be real talk about it, but meh, like that's how I feel. I've had enough time with the season now, and I've had enough time cumulatively since the playtests last year to see where the game is going and to like not be that excited about where it's going based on where it started and based on what I thought the promise of the game was going to be in terms of melee combat. Instead, they made melee dumber. They've made melee harder to, I guess, make it easier for more people to come on board. And that's fine. I understand making the game more accessible. But when you do it in a way that also empowers kiting, escape, control classes, it's the death of melee, basically. And then you just kind of have like a portion of the player base is just getting farmed by the control escape artists. And that's not fun. On Dad, the problem becomes worse the more gear people have. Is it true for this game too? Absolutely. I mean, gear gapping is a different thing. Gear gapping is always going to be a challenge for gear-based extraction games. And, like, that's another issue that needs to be designed out of because you don't want to have new players in the same lobby as, you know, sweaty people in full purple kits, right? There needs to be enough places and incentive for experienced geared players to go off and kill each other and not, like, run around in Greenwood and just, like, because there's nothing else to do, right? That's a whole other issue. It's not necessarily the issue with gear power. I don't have a problem with gear power. I have a problem with a binary, a gap between melee and ranged, and having it so that the ranged classes can do very little versus a melee class except escape and control. Having no melee capability persists the binary. It reinforces a binary, and it makes people pick a side, and that turns the game into what Dark and Darker kind of became, where the barbarian is only ever chasing, and the ranger is only ever escaping. And, like, if the barbarian catches the ranger, then the ranger loses. If the ranger has more move speed than the plate fighter and can hit them enough times, there's nothing the plate fighter can do, really. Or some equivalent there, right? And there are subtle, you know, things, there are details in that equation that I'm not picking up on, but for the most part, you get the picture, I think. And that's what I see happening here. I see it's less of... Chivalry 2 was fantastic because even the weakest melee could still compete with nuance and still win fights and have fun. And that game was tremendously fun because of that ability. And instead, this game is just kind of pushing people to the edges of a binary. And I think that gets old. Or that's like it's fertile ground for a frustrating experience long term. And this game is too young to die that way this early. I think. I hope they can figure it out. Range should be about pre-positioning too. You should be rewarded for setting up smartly and not for reactive kiting. Yeah, in the beginning, the hunter had an ability on the longbow where your Q ability was they set themselves up more like a stationary sniper. But that ability was like hit scan and the range was super far. And so they had a vision there for that sort of thing. But I think it was a combination of it wasn't really adopted in the way they imagined by the community, or it was abused by the community in certain ways. It made killing bosses or killing elite enemies way, way, way too easy. There was a bunch of issues there that wasn't very thoughtful, and so they've transitioned away from that But the big difference is that there's just no range. There's no melee capability. There's no reason for this character to be in melee range. It's only escape. And when that's the case, it's only chasing. Us melee players only chase. And that feels bad. That's just that's just like a frustrating experience. Instead of it being like a battle of wits, it's just like one person runs, one person chases. I think. Hey, Jay. Optimizing the fun out of the game. Never change game communities. I feel like Chivalry, for some reason, like, managed to avoid a lot of the over-optimization. Like, there was things you could do, like, really good players could be untouchable on the battlefield. It's true. Like, you could learn how to use your blocking iframes. People could 1vx. Like, I have fought myself out of 1v4 situations. Like, there's a ton of stuff that I could do in Chivalry, thanks to my experience, that new players really needed to learn to do to take me down. But new players always had a chance, and the game was intuitive in a way that was very appealing and attractive. But maybe it's simpler. Maybe it's simpler to do a game like Chivalry because it is like a melee first, you know, foundation for a game. That's why I did my crossbow ranger, because I didn't want to do the kite gameplay, even though the game doesn't support my playstyle. Yeah, two hands, well said. You know, if the arming sword had a block or a parry, you know, you could do your crossbow. You could build a tanky strength focused, HP focused ranger build, use your crossbow, and then close the gap, or welcome your opponent closing the gap. Because when they get into melee range, you've got the ability to block and parry and counterattack and stay in the melee in a nuanced and interesting way. In Dark and Darker, that would be incredible. The arming sword, the rapier, the short sword, the daggers. You know, if more of the shields if more shield using classes had shield perks, it would be incredible. It would be incredible. I would not be playing Legacy right now if Dad had that level of nuance, right? I would still be neck deep in Dark and Darker. I would not be playing this game right now. But I was chased away from Dad because the gameplay experience is a basic bitch. It's just basic, right? It doesn't make any sense why some things can't block, or why blocking sucks for some things. It's not good. It's not fun. And this game is going the same way. Like, they're peeling away from combat nuance. It's more about DPS racing. It's more about perma-kiting, perma-control, and it's becoming less fun. Potentially more accessible, I guess, but something is lost, I think. I'm gonna buy a pair of pants before I drive myself crazy. Warrior. Executioners. Pillars. Not my favorite. I'd rather craft better legs. I'd rather craft, yes, Bullrush War Pants. Let's do it. Maybe a helmet too, just to make ourselves look scary. I feel like looking scary goes a long way. We should also disenchant this scepter. My glowing sanctum. Sanctum? I barely know him. And we sell. And then we forge. After we do some heartwood. Very nice. I think I was maybe just spoiled by Chivalry. I was spoiled by Shiv. Didn't even know how good I had it. Played the crap out of that game for 2 years. And then discovered Dark and Darker and saw they had blocking. Just loved the melee combat in Shiv. And have been chasing that dragon ever since. And hitherto have not been, you know, Other games have just failed to hit those heights. Yeah, Shiv ruined you. Shiv was such a good game. Haven't been able to make it work right in a long time. In terms of your PC, Lyrebird, in terms of your hardware kind of thing. Cooking pot. Maybe I'll jump on Rogue. And we'll see if we can have some satisfying counterplay there. Yeah, the software has allergies, I see. Shiv's melee combat was so good. We need some community games in Shiv 2. That could be a lot of fun, actually. That could be a lot of fun. Good call, Two Hands. The only problem with that is we're asking people to buy the game. And I'm not comfortable doing that very often. I don't want to make people feel like they miss out because they don't have a copy of the game. I'll do one more round. When do we start streaming today? 4 o'clock. We'll go for like another hour and a bit. Another hour, maybe. I'll go one more round on... I'll go till I die on Warrior. And then we'll mix it up. Shiv has free weekends sometimes. Good call. Good call. Yeah, do. How do I feel about this? Is such a weird helmet. I feel like I almost like how it looks. I feel like I almost like how it looks. That's how I feel. More meds. Just a few more meds. Yeah, that's fine. Away we go. Until we die. Yeah, did you? Skyrim leather helmet? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Why can't the rapier block? The flute can block. Is it just a matter of like they didn't spend the time to make the animations? Right? Why does the flute have a... if the flute didn't have a parry, then I wouldn't even think. It would just be kind of like, oh, yeah, it's just not possible for some reason. Like, only the longsword and the shields, I guess. But, like, the flute has a parry. Why? Who has ever used it not ironically? Right? Who's ever tried to rely on a shield, on a flute parry for real? Who? Nobody, right? But it's included as a troll to show us that the game could be better. It's just not. I've got rage. I want to stay away from her verticality. Priests want to be up high. Missed her there. Got a bit more rage. Hit her with that one. Blocking, shield charging. Hitting, headbutting. She's silenced, maybe? I'm stunned. Let's dodge. Very, very hurt from that. We charge. Headbutt. No, we charge again. Let's pin her down, maybe? Okay, she's pinned. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna dodge the star. No, I can't cancel out of my health pot animation. That's too bad. I should have maybe kept DPSing. So my bad for pulling away and giving her space, when I should have just spammed attacks, I suppose. And then dodging doesn't cancel your health pot animation once you do that. Once you do that, what do you call it? I'm just gonna play Rogue, I think. It was very nice of her to pick me up. It was very sweet. I appreciate it. Parry? Flute Larry. Flute Parry must have really been part of that vision. It's true, right? It's true. It's like it's there. Flute 7. That's what it comes down to. They can, but they won't. Is it a tech debt thing? There's just like, but it's been so long, right? The game has existed for so long that I struggle to believe that it's like a matter of like, they don't have time, you know? Because they've clearly had time, Iron Mace, to do things. Maybe the flute parry was a little thing a dev snuck in without the all-powerful approval of SDF. Some passion slipping through the cracks. Interesting. Not a bad hypothesis. I guess the instrument damage perk exists, but it's like, why would you ever spec into that? Yes. For the flute parry, I mean, yes. Honestly, I would be okay with a no block for the rapier if we could use the buckler on all classes, and if we had a parrying dagger offhand. Yeah, I think the rapier is like, historically, and I think Dark and Darker does a good job of being somewhat tethered to like historical accuracy a little bit. Like a rapier is a dueling weapon. It's like it's meant for dueling. So give it a parry. I'd rather see the rapier have a parry before others, if that makes sense. Lantern shield is historically accurate. It is, right? I mean, it's a novelty, but it's there. They didn't invent a lantern shield. But there's no reason for not having a block on the arming sword or halberd. Yes. Yes. It's a choice. It's a weird choice. And one that I don't fully comprehend. Let's think. Take a skull key. And let us split this. And maybe a stam recovery? Maybe I'll take a stam recovery. Could be fun. We'll play a few rounds here, and then we'll wrap it up. Weapons should also be able to clank against each other mid-air. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wonder. I feel like that's kind of like ripe for abuse. That might be a step too far for me. I feel like for it to be a blocking surface in Dark and Darker, the player needs to put it in a blocking position. I think if the weapons were active blocking surfaces mid-swing, that would cause all sorts of problems. I feel like. Maybe they should have timed blocks, so a blocking stance that only lasts for a second or two. Yes, but then... So Chivalry 1 had blocking... You could block with a two-handed weapon, like a sword, and it was momentary, so you had to time it right. They had that. That was interesting. Shields, you could hold in a blocking position for as long as you want, but it would cost you stamina to hold the shield in a blocking position. That's interesting. The issue is, Dark and Darker historically has not been very good with desync, with server performance. And I shudder to think what people's experience would be if you couldn't hold block and hold a weapon in a defensive stance on the dad servers, right? To this day, who has ever seen what their ping is when playing Dark and Darker? What is your ping when you play that game? Right? Heaven knows. Who knows? I can tell you my ping now is 20 milliseconds. 18, 16 milliseconds. Most games, nay, all online PvP games will tell you what your ping is, except for Dark and Darker. Because they're embarrassed. They're scared. If they actually showed you that your ping is 165, people would just dip. They'd be like, I'm not playing this game. My ping always sucks. Even though I'm playing in North America, what's the deal with that? What's the deal? They're too ashamed to show it. Yes, that's it. Okay. Sometimes there's a rogue box in here. Eh. Nyeh. I want that Japanese scientist. We're getting spicy. Who in a lab setting managed to make more or less instantaneous data transfer in regular optical Ethernet cables to get all the funding in the world. Yeah, but you know that it's just going to go to like high frequency trading houses, right? Like it's that tech just gets gobbled up by like all the algo trading companies in New Jersey that are like across the water from the New York Stock Exchange. Like it's just going to benefit that. No, I hear you. The world would be a different place if more people had access to ultra fast internet. Hell yeah, everyone's playing a game that happened 25 seconds ago. Yeah, Maddie and his Bloomberg terminal are the only people who get to benefit or use that technology. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I do have to wait. I can't. 1, 2, 3. I can. So another nerf. Shadow nerf. Just in terms of like the micro timing. Like you used to be able to go your whole combo. And then, I think maybe I'm misremembering. I don't want to throw shade without... I'll just stop there. I'm not going to throw shade without knowing for sure. Take these pants. Thank you for pants. Starlink has done more to connect the world than anything I've ever seen, but no one seems to talk about it. Ouch. Elden Ring is your old mixed box. Mixed bag in its ping. You sometimes have a fair PvP with 30 ping, or you can get an over 350. Yikes. And it teleports, impossible to hit. Yeah. It's not easy, right? It's not easy to make online melee PvP, right? There's all sorts of things that need to happen to have a semi-balanced experience. I hear a player. Okay, let's see if we can block the warrior. Couldn't block that one. He wants to do that. He's out of stamina. Interesting. Can I teleport? I can. Using my utility. Look at me go. Using my smoke bomb. Using my poison darts. Okay, a little reset. Good use of his tether. I had a good counterattack. He wants to horn. Let's play this the way you're supposed to. Where you don't W key. So many mobs. There he is. There's his horn. Nice headbutt. block this headbutt, counterattack that. Now my blocking charges are low, so I have to keep up with him here. He's gonna enrage. I wasn't far enough away. I missed him with that. Hit him with the dagger. We can teleport to him. He's stammed out. I can blade rush. He's very hurt. Oh, here comes a wizard. Let's see if I can get away. And nope, can flagellate. Too bad. Warrior looks scary from the view of another character. It's fun. It's like, it is scary. It is scary. But if you learn what attacks you can block, it becomes way more navigable. Oh, friends, it's so nice that they added this. You gotta give credit where it's due. The fact that they let you pick people up, I think, is a really great thing for the game. Wizard said, stop that, you two. Yes, we agree. We agree. I'm still not used to it. I'm a bit of a salty dog. I think that it's, again, it's hard to unlearn the stuff that you pick up from, like, your first chunk of exposure to the game. But I think that a lot of people stopped playing last season because of how sweaty and punishing the lobbies were. So that very simple stroke, and I think Chris mentioned that it was like a community idea. Like, the community was like, hey, you should make it so we can pick people up in solos. And they were like, oh, okay. And then they did. They had the courage to do it. Oh, I don't use that root often enough. It's another thing. So in addition to my utility... I don't use the double dash route often enough. A huge addition to the game. It's awesome. Mom wizard. Cool, we did okay there. They were transparent about a nerf to the poison dart velocity. So it's very difficult to actually land a hit with the poison darts, because the range and projectile velocity aren't great. But we did okay in the fight. What's going on here? I really wish I could loot these people. It's kind of... It's almost like, what do you call it? It's poetic. This little scene. Kind of like star-crossed lovers, right? Where they couldn't be together because the warrior's family wouldn't accept the priest and the priest's family wouldn't accept the warrior, but they were in love. And so they drank a poisoned concoction and then they both died in the field. Like star-crossed lovers, right? Quite Shakespearean. Anyway. They like went to the field and ate all the poison flowers. Yeah, that's what it was like. And then they died. Okay. Can we sneak a shot here? I'm not sure if we have the range for it. We'll go invis. Double dashed. I'm gonna dagger her. I'll go to her here. Affliction? No, I don't have the, She wants to dash back into the traps. Stun locked out. Oh. Oh, missed it with me. I'm stammed out. Luckily, I can block this, though. Let's try juking. Just regular movement. Blocking. Now we're back. Dagger, hit her. This is gonna lock her down. No, she's in the air, weirdly. So she doesn't fall like they used to. Double dash. Okay, we got her still. So it's too bad. The only thing she can do is run. There's nothing she can do when I'm up in her face. And it just turns into you either run or you die. And that's how it is playing Hunter. The aiming glimmer indicator thing is sick. Aiming glimmer. Oh yeah, you can see them. That's kind of like an old, like, battlefield. Like, the snipers from across the map, you could see if they were looking down sight, they would have, like, a glint. A sniper glint. I don't have the HP to fight this guy. We can just juke his fireballs for a sec while I heal up. We escape the gravity well. He's out of stamina. I missed with that. Let's see if we can get him with the poison dart. We hit him with the poison dart. Let's also... dash in on him. This is a bad idea because I don't have all the HP. I can maybe get out of the well there. Let's see. We'll escape for a second and we'll heal. Also do my stamina potion. I don't have a ton of HP to fight this guy. But we'll see what we can do. Damn, no pickup. Maybe a little bit of elevation. Nope, I got knocked from the air. No, it didn't take my input for the dash. Hit him here, we lock him down. We blade rush. He can't block it. Can't catch. We're gonna juke for a bit. We're gonna heal. So he's poisoned now, which is good for us. Gravity well, interesting. Even outside of the indicator, it still sucks you in. Can't cancel out of that. His poisoned, so healing is less effective. Caught him here. There's another player down the street. Nope. We're done. I can block, maybe, but we're going to be set on fire. There's just very little to do against that ability. Unfortunate. There's so many cancels. If they hit you with things, like there's a lot of interrupts. And one of the other Notorious staff said that that's kind of an issue. That the wizard stuff interrupts too much. You're starting to use your consumables. I'm using my utility. Yes, I am. I got a bit fumbly there. I didn't pay attention to where my indicator was. And so that I missed a few opportunities to play faster. Because I was hovering the wrong, like an empty slot on my utility. I didn't have a chance to fully heal up again after the first fight. Balanced class for sure. Again, it comes back to like, is it done intentionally or is it done with negligence? Like either they're trying to like fluff like interest in the season or they're bad at their jobs. And I can't decide which one it is. I've got all these green kits I just don't want to wear. I like running in Greenwood with just commons. I prefer it in commons. Because, number one, I play better when I don't care about my gear. And number two, it makes me feel a bit less bad. It's a bit more... how do I say? I guess balanced, for lack of a better term. Let me just craft a couple of armor pieces. Nice. Yeah, maybe like they want to take time and actually be thoughtful with how they want to adjust. Maybe they want a little more data in terms of like how the class is performing. I understand that approach. But from a business perspective, like the longer that issues kind of fester, like the more risky it is in terms of maintaining player interest. But I suppose again, like the the Twitch kill farmers aren't sad. And maybe I'd be singing a different tune if I was interested in playing the class and was just absolutely destroying everybody. But instead... I'm a stubborn melee enjoyer. Bring some more pots, why not? Rings? Ooh, maybe we can check the... there is a goblin recovery service, but alas... People, it only works if no one picks up your stuff, and so maybe my things have been scooped up. Severe balance issues like this is a good way to lose the player base you acquired with the free weekend. Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't have an excellent track record of making savvy business decisions. I'll say that. I don't think that's like a, I don't know, a bridge too far. Ring of Health. And cooking pot. Minty potato. Maybe I'll do a mint and a little extra HP because the rogue could use a little extra boost. So we've got mint for max stamina and seasoned wolf haunch for max HP. And we get some bonus servings, so for 5 adventures. That's a good long time. One more of this, and then I'll go back to Naked Warrior for 1 or 2. Minty meat. Ooh, I almost did an overshare about my mom's cooking, but instead I'll shut my mouth. If you don't have something nice to say about your mom's cooking, don't say it. It is the internet after all, and what we say here echoes for eternity, right? Wow, that was close though. I thought about it. If my wife watches the VOD, she's gonna have a chuckle at that. All our moms are the best cooks in the world. Yes. Very diplomatic of you, Moss. Very diplomatic. Oh, man. What do we hear? Do I hear things? I can overshare that my dad was the one who was cooking in our family. Dads who cook, absolute chads. Nothing like, growing up, I had my best friend, his dad was a cook, or his dad cooked like 80% of the meals at home. And I was too young to appreciate it, but I always thought it was so cool. His dad would like make like pizza from scratch. I thought I heard a tree chopping. Did I? I did. Thought it was very cool. I love that you can see the trees fall down. Let's see who we're dealing with. Oh, hunter. Ooh, nice longbow shot. Got shot with the longbow. He's coming up, it seems. I'm gonna queue up my smoke bomb. I was maybe a little early on that. Go back to my other utility here. Now she's gonna play the range game. Hard to close the gap on that. This is a big open space for a longbow. A lot of time for her to draw. So let us be smart about this. And see if we can set a little ambush. If she foolishly comes out of there, we'll jump on her. Back to my smoke bomb. In my opinion, Dungeonborn is the highest quality attempt at Dad's market share, but they fumbled the bag in the balance department for sure. I wish I knew more about it. I only know anecdotally about the issues they had. There was something about, like, life on hit. There was something about the legendary drop timer. There's like a global timer for legendary drops that was just bad. But there was... Okay, the hunter's across the river. Did she see me move? She'll shoot at me. Or maybe I'm just out of her line of sight. She is just standing there. Now she's out of my draw distance towards the goblin bridge. Hard to close the gap, but I wonder if I can. Going for it. I can move silently. The problem is, some of this map I might have to jump. I don't want to jump. I don't want to make sound. We lock her down. She's out of stam. Oh, I misclicked. You gotta stay on her now. Oh, I'm getting help with the mob. Oh, I misclicked again. Oh, I misclicked again. I took a potion and I meant to press R. So I don't have a lot of practice. I gotta bail. I gotta bail on this. And I'm invisible, but not to the mob, it seems. I'm invisible, but not to the mob. Okay. Darn. Twice I went... That's a problem with on my end. I want to go for my utility, but I went to press R and instead pressed 4, I guess. A challenge. Failed so many dex saves. I did. I crept up on her... Well, got close. But that's a problem. Same thing with, like, the blue pots, right? In Dad. If I focus on just attacking... Like, if I've got, like, a band where I'm comfortable. But if I try to get too cute, then I fumble. And there's no canceling out of the pot animation. What's up, Growing Ganja? Happy Thursday, indeed. Life on hit was so egregious for way too long, and their attempts at nerfing it were in tune with Dad's druid nurse as of late. Sad. It's unlikely I'm gonna get close to her again. Ooh, crepes sound so good. I agree. Crepes do sound good. Can I still hear her? Is that just me making sound? She's chopping a tree right here. Yes. Back into the cover of darkness. Oh, I have my weapons out, so I'm burning stamina. She's out of range here. Closing the gap. Stun locking. Dagger missed. Again, trying to be cute with my utility. I hit her with the dart. Let's see if we can close the gap. Hit her with the dagger. We'll stun her. We'll use our blade rush. Try another poison dart. We hit her again. Keep dodging. Missed her with the dagger. She's out of stam. I fat fingered my potion again. She's trying to go for heals. Okay, we finally got her. GG. GG. Third try is a charm. Wow, she had very nice things. She has full rings. She's full greens. All she can do is run, right? And all I can do is chase. And that's the game. Keep this backpack, I guess. She worked so hard on this wood, it'd be a shame not to take it. Loot bags. Okay. Cool. Nice ring of stamina. Let's get out of here. 1 kilometer away. I wonder... I don't have a... goblin lever. And the drawbridge is up. Do I have 100 coins? 54 coins. Are there any coins I can pick up? Maybe come back and take the goblin... or take the coin gate? I'll get coins on the way. Full kit! Indeed. So gear is impactful. All classes are strong. But you don't need gear to overcome a gear gap. You just have to play to your class's strength. I think there I finally calmed down and was just relying on, like, positioning and juking. Like, longbow is tough. Longbow has a very slow draw speed. Hi, Charlie. Good morning. Sounds are relaxing. I agree. Charlie! Ooh, I see priest magic. Handled it well, I thought. She did. She knew how to make space, but I was certainly in more danger across the big open field where she could get the full draw. That one shot of full draw took half my HP. There's a player there going that way. I'm gonna get into like a lesser populated part of the map. Yeah, Charlie's in Friday already. Charlie's got that ultra fast internet where he's just, it's so fast he's in the future. That's how it works. Need to kill some goblins. Get some gold. To leave via the coin gate. These goblins are already dead. 69 gold. Try to move discreetly here. Because if they're dead, it means someone has gone through recently enough. A lot of carrots up for grabs. We're listening. $82. Be quiet as we move through. One more gobbo here. Okay. Do more damage than I think. 93. Okay. Good. 100 gold pieces, enough to pay the boatman. The boatman. Ganja, that's funny. Yeah, Charlie knows what's gonna happen on stream. That's why I'm happy when he's in a good mood. If Charlie's in a good mood, it means it's gonna be a good day, because he already knows what happened. Okay. Bit of rogue play to cleanse the palate. We'll go back to a naked warrior for one or two, maybe one. And that'll be it for the Thursday social. We got a big, very important chicken event happening this weekend. People are excited, it sounds like. I love that. Where is my... Let's do the tavern here really quick. Saves. Oh, yeah. One quick plug before I forget. I love this thing. This is very fun. Oops. Excuse me. This one. Yes. If you didn't know, well, now you know. We're having a Dark and Darker event on Saturday, May 24th, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. That will be in the evening for our friends in the EU in the later evening. It is a very important chicken-themed event where 2 plate fighters will escort a chicken to the elevator in the Goblin Caves, and everyone else will be a melee rogue in squire gear trying to hunt a geared chicken and you know, uncommon geared plate fighters. We'll share more details soon so people can plan the thing. It's shaping up to be, there's a lot of interest in this, understandably so, because look at it. Wings. Anyway, Saturday event, very important chicken. Hope you can make it. We'll be at a water cooler event to start. We'll break off into pods, though, I imagine. It'll be a pods thing. Awesome. Kind of lost some of the sound here for a second. That's weird. Thanks for bringing Charlie up to speed on SDF. Okay. Let's switcheroony. And I don't want to wear gear. Maybe we'll just take a green weapon for fun. A green weapon for fun. When am I ever gonna wear this stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Dang, all the food. I know. I gotta eat too. It's catching up with me. For real. Let's put some nice bandages on. Let's go buy some nice heals. Why is it that I can have so much wealth in the game and I'm still afraid to lose? Why is that? How is that? What's my problem, guys? I have no energy to make anything. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Naked man. Naked man with a green Crag horn maul. It's nice to have a dragon horde. It makes me feel like I'm winning if I have a stash full of stuff. It's been a rough week. I'm sorry to hear that, Lily. I'm sorry. Ooh, I love a cheese and apple snack. Mmm. Here we go. Fresh map. Got a candle for my trouble, guys. Got a candle. What else do you need? A Crag horn maul. And a candle. Don't say a prayer for me now. Save it for the morning after. Kind of thing. Ooh, ogre fat. We take those. An earth shaker? Oh. Hello. Now I'm the one who's stuck. Oh, can't charge through the sludge. The seed bomb is stuck to me. Chased her. Nice. See if we can catch her. We can. Headbutt. We missed. Missed her with that. Charging. She's down. Nice jump. Another charge. Headbutt. She's silenced, so she can't use abilities, but my range isn't very good. Now I'm in the trap. Charging. Out of the trap. Headbutt. She's silenced. But again, my range is not great. Nice kick. Charging. Can't get her. She wants to run. Understandably so. I'm bleeding to death. Just barely got my heal off in time. So close. It's true. I kind of fumbled the opening of combat. I fumbled the opening of combat. Blocking is really great. Especially for these swift bows. Because there's not much she can do. She can't break my block. I'm gonna horn at her so I can charge. I'm gonna see if I can snare her. I just barely did. Jumping attack. Q attack. Headbutt. Dodging headbutt. Charging. A little damage in here. Blocking. Charging. She's at a stam. I have nothing I can do here. Except for a chase. Jump attack. Locked her down. She's silenced. We got her. We got her. A baby warrior man can take down a common geared? No. Mix of greens here. That's a geared hunter, but she has a light attack. So my ability to block her light attack exists. And what can she do, right? She got me down to 1 HP. And then she had to be able to heal, and I got a chance to heal. Cool. Very nice. Thank you, Zio. This is hour 22 of playing Warrior, so I'm still learning. It's kind of interesting that you can burn out your stamina, but have enough rage to do charges. That was always a confusing thing when I was a rogue playing against warriors. I thought because they were out of stamina, oh, now I've got a chance to make space. but they still can close the gap even though they have no stamina. It's kind of like a weird thing to be opposed to. I got lucky. I aimed up enough with the tether, the iron throw tether, because it's got a pretty low... when you just, like, if you look straight and you throw the tether, it sags pretty heavy. So you really got to aim up. Uh-oh. Sorry, Maddie. Maddie's being censored. Those fights are extra tough without extra charge distance. Right. Yes. I think I'm just gonna make my way to the exit. Yeah, you're lucky YouTube doesn't ban you. Another hunter. Let's see. Maybe this hunter will kill me and then be shocked that my backpack is full of other hunter things. Throwing the tether. We hit her. Weapon away. Jumping in. Headbutt. Missed. Jump attack. Close the gap. Shield charge. Didn't work. Let's heal. A little mid-fight heal. Keep high HP. My rage is not super high. She went over the edge here. She's pulling mob. She's gone. Okay. She gooned away. She's like, don't scrump me like you scrumped the other hunter. We got priest magic here. Let's go die to a priest, shall we? She prematurely edged. Very funny. That's very funny. Here we go. Priest is here. Missed with that. Let's see if we can close the gap with a jump. Ooh, I missed an opportunity there. We'll charge. Missed a headbutt. Missed the slam. We got a ton of rage. Headbutt. Nice. Now let's tether her. Nice. Okay, cool. GG. Oh, wizard coming. Oh, I'm stuck in my animation. Let's just juke here for a sec. Jump in. Charge. Try to tether. Tethering works. Got a headbutt. Got a headbutt. Got interrupted. Got a headbutt. Blocking. Charging. Headbutt. Nope. Blocked it. Broke his block. Headbutt. Nope. He evaded. Charging. He's getting away. He's getting away! We tethered him. We'll heal. We'll just juke a little bit here. Oh, excellent hitboxes on the fireball. It's excellent. My back is to a wall here. Let's tether. Jumping. Blocking. Excellent hitbox. Charging. Blocking. On fire. Dead meat. Dead meat. Nice try, GG. Couple times, it looked like I was out of the splash range. But there's some videos on Discord that show that the area where the splash hits is not like the actual full size of the area of effect. Like the visual is disconnected from the thing, which reminds me, one other public service announcement. Let me do this. This. Speaking of hunters and hitboxes, we'll do this. Good. So here we are, just doing a little test for the hunter trap. So bad. Wizard fireballs are an issue, but also the hitbox for the hunter traps are not ideal. pretty far away from that. So the traps are actually like 3 times larger than they appear in terms of their like active area. Yeah, it's for a game that people already have an issue with kind of a cartoony aesthetic. If the hitboxes were more accurate, I feel like it would go a long way in helping the game feel less cartoony and a little more like actual stylized realism. But that's also kind of on the wish list. Let's see. If I do this and this, and then 1 second. We're just getting ready. Just getting the wind down song. Today was interesting. I feel like it's nice for me to feel like some of the issues that people have with Melee are not like insurmountable. I'm just gonna put on this tune here and go back to the scene. Nice. So, Wizard is out of hand, I think, either due to negligence or design. There's definitely a honeymoon phase with the game that's really, really great. If you have less than, I don't know, X number of hours, 20 hours, 40 hours, there's so much in this game that is interesting in terms of its like lodge mechanics, the vendors, all the items, the progression, the different classes initially. It's all very interesting in the honeymoon phase, right? But then you get past the honeymoon and you start to see some of the cracks of the game, the balance issues, the hitbox issues, there's like map jankiness issues, and you realize there's still a lot to be desired. Like the class balance stuff, it's going to go back and forth. There's going to be some hotfixes that are better for one and worse for others, but generally speaking, like it's still baking. You know what I mean? Like many games, I guess. It's true. It's true. Yeah, I think maybe it's the CC. Like when people aren't able, it's the CC is an issue. I think the hitboxes are also an issue. It was the problem I had with Death Ball back in the day. Back early season 0, there was a Death Ball issue. Let me call that up too. Why not? I've got it. 1 second. Because I think it underscores the point. This one. Yeah. So this is back, like, I don't know, Feb or something. Small. This is what turned me off of Season 0. We've got a warrior with a death ball doing a drop kick, and like that's the hitbox. And so you can't believe your eyes, right? And I think they adjusted. No one plays with death ball anymore. I'm not sure how much better or worse this has gotten, but this was the issue, and it made fighting against this weapon insufferable. And so it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing happening with the Wizard Fireball. Like the splash, the actual area of effect is larger than what shows up on the ground. We saw with the Hunter Traps. It's just kind of like you want people to be able to use their eyes and like be able to play the game and strategize and make plays based on what they see. And that's kind of what I mean by when the honeymoon period is over. There's a few things left that are like becoming difficult for me to kind of get over. You can only imagine how much worse it would be on bad ping. I wonder how, like, I have no idea if this game is kind of like similar to Dark and Darker in that like it's client side authoritative in terms of like hitting, or if it's more sophisticated and like you send the check to the server and the server checks your opponent's position and like it's a server validated hit. Whatever it is, there is a disconnect. So, just play Tarkov? No, I'm waiting for Arc Raiders. I'm like putting all my hope there. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for a game that like, I don't know. A competitive game that you can kind of rely on, you know, or like, I don't know what I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that Chivalry Dragon. Arc Raiders on Steam, Arc Hype. It's a waiting room, right? This game, there's an awesome honeymoon, and you should check it out. These guys have a lot of work to do to make the game actually good, and they're not there yet. And I can say that now in the open. I think that I've spent more time with it. I don't want to just like ugh DPS race against a class that can only escape, you know? But that's kind of what it's become. Looking for something to fill the D&D void. No, D&D, you know, D&D died for me a long time ago. And they have even more work to get me actually excited for that game again. Dark and Darker. Like, they could do it. It's possible. You know, but it's like rape your parries. It's like they need like an extra couple of dimensions to melee combat for me to actually be excited to like play a full season and do well in that game. Like, that game is kind of like, it's a fun meme at this point. I've just got too much exposure to it. There's too many shortcomings. And so, you know, I want to keep it around for the community. Like, I want to have fun events. But in terms of taking it seriously, I want to play a game competitively. I want to play a game seriously. And I can't do that with Dad. It's too janky. It's too shallow. It's too basic. I can't do that with this game. It's still coming into the picture. And we'll see how they take it. But like, you know, it's not moving in the right direction for me. And so fingers crossed for Arc Raiders, you know, fingers crossed for Expedition, Chroma Tower. Like, there's other games that are being worked on. And hopefully they do it better, you know? That's it. Maybe STF's message later will fix everything. Wouldn't that be grand? Wouldn't that be grand? I've been thinking of jumping on Counter-Strike again. The fate of Dad is currently balancing on the thread of what STF's message might say. Who knows? Who knows? At least we have each other here, guys. At least we have each other. And at least you can trust me to tell you what I honestly think, right? I've never taken money from these guys, from Notorious. They've given us keys, and we've passed it on. And I hope that because of that, you're able to enjoy a new game experience, right? And get, you know, scratch a bit of that extraction itch. But I want to also be able to speak honestly about what I think about the state of a game, or like the prospects for a game. And so hope I didn't cross any lines today. I'm just being honest. As all things should be. We will find the game when the time comes. Yes. Until then, let's just gather strength. Let's gather our energy. Let's enjoy the goodbye song. I'm here for whatever game you end up playing, except for those factory games. Factory games? What's a factory game? What's a factory game? What is that? I'm not moving on. Oh, like Factorio Satisfactory? Right. Isn't Manor Lords kind of like a factory game? It's just like an outside factory game. I'm here for every game. Yeah, same thing. Thanks, Jorkin. Keep being you, Blinn. Play Factorio. Freeze your goulash so you can thaw it out when Arc comes in. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh, you got me there. 2 hands. You walked into that, buddy. You walked into it. You guys are awesome. Library has a brilliant idea to freeze food. Just so, and I'll pee in a jar. I'll have a big pee jug with a nice snug lid, and I'll never need to leave my desk again. I didn't say that very well, but you get the idea. Anyway, I've said enough. It's been a long one. Happy Thursday. Get ready for the weekend. Get ready for very important chicken on Saturday. And we'll pick things up again with I Love Mondays on Monday. Who knows where it's going to go. Please don't pee in a jar, Blinn. Your wife will divorce you. We'll see. My wife is a very loving and understanding person. We'll leave it there. I'll go into cryo sleep for 200 years. Wake me up when the vision is complete. Yeah, we'll see. Can't wait for the chicken event. It's sick. I can't thank you guys enough for being so excited. I've talked enough. Let's say goodbye. Happy Thursday. Happy weekend coming. We'll see you Saturday. Mwah. Until then. we'll say goodbye. Bye.